Yo, let's go, let's go, let's go. LFG's in the chat. We got to get to work. Got to get to work. Got a lot to do today. We are going to be building a 7-page website as fast as we possibly can because we're not getting paid for this. Kind of like the first time around. I actually built this site live the first time around in bricks a while back. And we're now going to rebuild it in Etch. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to have to do some things differently. You know, the workflow is a little different. There's some things I haven't done yet. There's some things I haven't done, like a full site. I have not built a site yet that would have the client being an editor, because I've only built all of our sites with Etch. And so, like, for example, when we get to the custom post types, like the services page, you know, here's the services page. Oh, I've got a screen share. There we go. Like this services page. Okay. There's some stuff going on there. Like this, I think I templated this with like custom fields or something, but we technically don't have to do that workflow anymore because we have block authoring and we have pattern editing, and I just haven't done that yet for like a client intended use. So we gotta, there's some things we gotta figure out. But here's the thing, I'm gonna do this from scratch. Well, I mean, okay, from scratch. What does that mean? This is actually different. Normally what I would do is I would spin up a clean install of my blueprint website, but he doesn't have any, he has no sites on his rocket plan. Okay, so I can't create a clean one and then migrate it over. Plus I'm thinking like, I don't wanna move all the media. I don't wanna move all the content. Like, how about we just do this on a staging site? Let's just clone what's there. Let's remove bricks. Let's remove the things we don't need in the stack. Let's clean up the database at some point, and then let's just build on top of that, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't normally do it this way, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to manage this website. In fact, I'll just start that process right now. So I'm gonna create the staging site, and then we'll log into the staging site. We'll take a look at it. The good news is all the media should be there. All the custom post types should be there. All the data should be there. And then we just gotta build, okay? So we gotta build. But you will see everything, you know, from scratch in Etch. Like how do the templates get done? I get more questions about like headers and footers. So you're gonna see all of that process take shape. I'm not going to go slow and explain every single thing that I'm doing. I mean, I'm gonna talk while I do it like I always do, but I'm not like, hey, let's make sure we go slow and keep the beginners with it. Like, guess what? You get to rewind. You get to slow it down. You get to whatever you need to do to go back and review, but I got to get this shit done. I just got to get the work done. Okay. We got to work today. The other thing is I got Etch hot off the press. Latest, there's some stuff you're going to want to see. There's some stuff you're going to want to see. That's about to roll out to all of you. And then automatic CSS, I got to get hot off the press. I'm also experimenting with this new grouping tab system in Brave that I just discovered. Maybe this has been around for a while, but I'm gonna see how this helps me, because you guys know I get lost in tabs. Like and my brain is not like, let's figure out what tab I should click on. I literally like click, oh, wrong one, click. I just click. I abuse the tabs. Maybe this grouping will provide a little bit of structure as we go through this. I feel like today will be a good day for maybe a rebuilt pattern or two as a bonus. Because the original site was built with frames, right? The original site, this site right here, this is built with frames. So technically this site wasn't even built from scratch, you know? There's some pattern things going on here where we can try the ACSS patterns. We're gonna be trying to speed build this essentially. Now, when I say speed build, you still gotta do all the things, you know, the right way. We're just trying to move fast. We're just trying to get it done quickly, but we're doing this with a beta tool and an alpha tool. Okay. So this is like, I mean, we're living on the edge, guys. We are absolutely living on the edge, but we're going to have a boatload of fun. That's the funnest place is on the Edge. Okay. Let's see. All right. Unfortunately, I can't watch this one live. Okay, yeah, you're here already, Ruby. You're here now. You're doing the thing. Just stay. That's all you got to do is just stay. Okay, we got good viewership. We got. Let's see what Rocket's up to over here. Okay, good. All right, we're gonna log in. This should be our staging site. Let's see what we find. Let's see how was this site built originally. Let's go look at the stack. We're just gonna dive right into this. We just got to get to work. We don't have a lot of time. A 7-page site, we don't have a lot of time. We've got to get to work. Admin columns Pro, okay? Advanced custom fields Pro. This automatic CSS is on 3.3.6. And as you guys probably know, 4.0 is not designed to be backwards compatible. So I'm gonna have to upgrade this. Oh, I was just on Git. I was about to get the latest of ACSS. It's not designed to be backwards. So we're gonna have to do a little finagling with the upgrade path here, because I'm not, I wanna be on 4.0. I wanna be on the latest, shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's go in here. Okay, so this is the last one I did from main. All these generate files. I'll just grab that, save that. Okay, let's go back in and let's figure out, okay, where do we want to be? All right, settings. We don't want to be in there. We don't need to be in there anymore. Okay, that's good. This is the Etch pattern site. This needs to go into the dev group. There we go. We're doing dev here. This is where we're doing dev. All right. So automatic CSS, I got to update. And then we're going to have to clear out some old stuff in the dashboard before we can really get going. That's stuff you would not normally have to do on a clean install. I only have to do it because I'm upgrading this version. Frames, we're not going to need. Let's deactivate frames. That's out. Happy Files Pro. No. Let's get rid of it. Perf matters. Yeah, we're gonna deactivate for now though. Short pixel, we're gonna deactivate this for now. The SEO framework, fine. WS Form Pro, let's update that. It's probably gonna decline this because, okay, good. All right, nice. All right, that we're gonna do manually. Advanced Custom Fields Pro. Hopefully we don't expose any licenses today. I don't know if they obfuscate this. I could put in my license, but I don't know. No, you'll definitely see it. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not expose any licenses on the stream today. I'll update that later. All right, let's go to add plugin and let's upload plugin and let's upload ACSS 4.0. So let's download that. Here's the one we need. Install. Okay, replace current with uploaded. I don't know what that's gonna, that just could blow everything up. We'll see. We are absolutely just, this is wild, wild west territory right now. Bricks, you gotta go. I gotta go back to GitHub. GitHub. Etch. Actions and main and actually while I'm here, why don't I just download this copy? Okay, that's fine. Save, and then we'll download the theme as well from right here. Okay, all right, so what we're gonna do is add a theme and we're gonna upload the theme, and that is going to be Etch theme 0.3 install. Sorry, Bricks. Got to kick you to the curb. Activate. Fantastic. Plugins. Add plugin. Upload plugin. Etch. Is this in date order? Today 10:51. Not that one. Today 11:10. That one. Install. Did I click the button? I don't want to click it again. Oh, it's thinking. There we go. Activate plugin. All right, there we go. Etch is installed. Etch, your unified development environment for WordPress. Okay. Here's what we are going to do. We're going to see what pages we have. We have an about, a contact, an estimate, a gallery, and a home page. What are these going to look like? What are these going to be filled with? Oh, good. They're blank. Amazing. Amazing. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you use a page builder that does not liberate your data to WordPress. It all disappears. It all is gone. It's gone. Everything that you did is gone. Okay, so appearance, themes, editor, we don't need to do any of that stuff, but I do. It's not going to let me use Etch until I activate. I think this is obfuscated, so we should be good to go here. Let's go to Etch. Let's go to Etch. Oh dear. Okay. Well, hey, we'll be burning that license. Okay. Hey, Andrea, you watching? That's my license. You can burn that one. Okay, let's do this. I thought it was just going to do that. See, I thought it was just going to do that. All right. That's on my kevin@digitalgravy.co account, Andrea, if you want to go in and burn that one real quick. All right, so that one's good there. Automatic CSS. Let's see if it opens on the front end. If it does not, then okay, good, it does. While we're here, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go palette, okay. We're gonna have to regen that color right there real quick because this is a brand new color system. Base, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna save. I think there's a little handshake you gotta do. Let's put that back in and save. All right, perfect. Neutrals all look good. We don't need those right now. Okay, let's go through everything real quick and just because all of this stuff is brand new, we got to make sure primary, semi-dark, that all these are workable values. Text dark muted. Okay, so like these trans values got to go. They're going to go back to their defaults. Light, link color, primary hover, that's all good. Link color, text light muted, okay, text light, primary light, all that should be good. Options, all that is good. Okay, so color scheme, website color scheme is going to be light. We will auto scheme, and that's all we have to do there. We'll go back, we'll go typography, mobile size, all this is good. Fonts are in, all that should still be just fine. 13, 13, 14, 14. Okay, well, I can work on those a little bit later. Those are not necessary for right now. We'll go into layout, website dimensions. That all looks, oh, let's go clear that. That's all good. Offset content automatically, we're not gonna need yet. Scroll margin, we don't need header heights yet. Content grid, all good. Auto grid, all good. Box layout, we're not using. Let's go into our spacing. All that looks good, 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 and good. New default, good. Okay, layout, spacing, buttons, links, global buttons, all looks good. Primary, all this should be fine. Nothing here has really changed. Okay, hovers look fine. Buttons, surfaces, and overlays will come back to. That's all been refactored. Those things, if I did, it doesn't look like I ever set them up, so that's fine. Borders and dividers, yep, those got to go. Additional radius options, that's a new selector. Dividers, those got to go. Okay. Cards, definitely want the card framework here. Default scheme, inherit. Okay. Card padding, that's all good. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. Okay. Cards, icons. Icon, definitely want the icon framework on. Inherit, oh, that's going to go to documentation. Click that, inherit that. Did I have box there? Is that what I had? Okay, that's probably what we want to leave with. Okay. Box styling, that's good. That's good. That's good. And that's good. Okay. You don't have to do this. Again, I'll reiterate, you do not have to do this on normal installs. This is only because I'm upgrading from, yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, we're going to go, because I'm upgrading from 3.x to 4.x branch, and they're not backwards compatible. Okay, good, all there. Form styling, automatic. I bet we just got to make sure, like, inherit those. Let's go to inputs. Those are going to be the most important. Okay, that should all be good. If anything's broken, we can just come fix it. So it's not that big of a deal. Looks like we have some global SaaS going on in there. Hopefully that's still supported. Let's go to options, workflow, auto object fit, class manager. Okay. Yeah, let's turn that off. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. That's all good. That's all good. Buttons and links. Okay, good. Plugin settings. Inline ACSS tokens needs to be on. Experimental features, user shortcuts. Good. Okay, we're good. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Now, the good news is all of our colors and all, and all of that are actually, you know, they're set up. They should be ready to go. So we can just get to building. Oh, good. Oh, we got a lot of people here. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. No pressure. Oh, shit. Knocking stuff over. Okay. So we have a blank slate. We have a bunch of pages that are blank. We have a FAQ custom post type. If we go into FAQs, we're going to see those here. We go into reviews. We're going to see some reviews. I think we did the absolute bare minimum in terms of like content to get the site just going. Which is weird because he called me the other day and he's like, the amount of leads I'm getting through this site. And I'm like, I don't understand it either, dude. I didn't do anything special. I don't know. Okay. So at least it's working. That's fine. Landscaping, hardscaping. Those are his two services. And that's it. That's it. So let's go ahead and you launch Etch. That's what you do. You don't have to go into any page. You can just click launch Etch from up here. And let's just make sure we can get into the builder. There we are. We're good. We're good. Let's go to templates. We're going to see we have not many templates. We have a 404 template and we have an index template. I'm going to edit the index template. Here we go with a main container and post content. That's it. So what we need to do is add a header and we need to add a footer. Now, what I'm going to do to help with this, because I don't particularly like building headers and footers. They're annoying. They're boring and annoying. Okay. So I'm going to go to our patterns website, patterns.etchwp.com. I'm going to go to headers. I'm going to copy the code on this header and I'm going to go back in and I'm going to paste. Okay. And yeah, I am going to say, allow me to paste forever, Brave. Okay. I pasted it twice. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we're going to move header alpha to above main. So you should have your header, then you should have your main, and then we need a footer down here. All right, so I'm going to go back to the patterns website. Let's call this, can I rename these? Rename. Okay, whatever, Brave. Let's go back to categories and let's go to footers. All right, and let's just grab footer alpha. Let's put that in. That's going to get the job done for us on that front because, you know, don't need to do anything fancy here. I need to quit hitting paste twice. That would be helpful. Let's try that again. Let's go just paste. There we go. Footer alpha. Okay. These are using, it appears like some sort of base color. I'll take a look at those in a second. I'm not sure that that's the color we want, but we now have a header and a footer. Like if I go to the front end of the website, there you go. I have a header and footer and I have nothing in between because the homepage doesn't have anything in between. But I do have an accessible navigation, okay? Notice I can do all the things with the keyboard. I'm keyboard navigating this right now. It will skip that. These are buttons, okay? This is all done for you. Out of the box, it's done for you. You just copy, you paste. Can you do that? If you can do that, you can at least get a header and a footer on the page, okay? All right, so let's go back in and we're gonna talk about maybe doing the homepage. So I'm gonna click Content Hub right here. I have my pages list by default. I can just jump right to the homepage and I can start building. Now I have the professional landscape, artisanscapes.ga.com up here. Oh, I can put the logo in, I guess, on the header. We'll do that in a minute. Okay, we're gonna build the, we're gonna build this right here. Now this is a very common introduction pattern to sections. I actually have one of these on the patterns website. So if I go to my patterns website, I go back to categories and I go to introductions, I can grab this introduction component, it's a component, and I can just paste it in. So I'll go back in here and I'm gonna add a section and I am going to hit paste on the section, okay? And let's see if it will paste. Did I not copy? Maybe, oh, there it goes, okay. Just took a second. All right, so this is a very, like an insanely common pattern. And what this component allows you to do, like I can control the visibility of the lead or the primary CTA or the secondary CTA. I can control whether it's like aligned left or center or even a 2-column kind of situation here. So I've got some various options at my disposal. But if I hit save and we go back and refresh the front end, like this, as you can already see, like things are starting to come together, okay? All right, so what we wanna do is go back and see what else we need. Like, why don't we put in the content while we're here? All right, so this is gonna be the section headline. We're gonna go in and that's the preview. Okay, good, all right. We'll put this in. This is gonna be the lead, fantastic. And then the primary CTA is going to be get an estimate, and then it looks like we were just promoting landscaping services as the like secondary CTA. So get an estimate and landscaping services. So primary CTA, get an estimate, and then we want secondary CTA to be landscaping services. And then that is eventually gonna have a URL. That's eventually gonna have a URL. We don't need to worry about setting those right now. We can come back to them. And what we want is we want the primary CTA to be a button, right? So I'm gonna edit component and I'm gonna go to that primary CTA and I'm gonna say this is button primary, except I definitely typed that wrong. Button primary, and now it's going to take primary CTA. And then I'm gonna come to CTA wrapper right here and I'm gonna align everything to the center with my little mini GUI, so I don't even have to really write anything. And then I'm gonna exit, and all of my components now, the primary CTA will be a button, the secondary CTA will be that. I'm also seeing that I want a little bit of a bigger gap in between these things. And I can see right here that the gap is divided by 2. I'm just gonna go divided by 1, and it's gonna go ahead and reset that to a normal gap. Okay, so I've done my little intro here. I'm noticing that it's feeling a little bit squished. So I'm gonna go see, what is appears that there is like a max width on here. So I'm looking at center. I'm just gonna go on here and see, there it is, max inline size of 60 characters. Let's just go ahead and try 70 and let's see how that looks. I'm gonna save that component and go back. That looks much better, okay? So now I have a little bit more breathing room for that inner content right there, and we are off to the races. I'm gonna go ahead and save my progress. We're gonna go ahead and look at this on the front end. Okay, that is all coming to life. What does it say? Local landscaping company? That's the H1, okay? So let's go up here, grab our component, section heading, local landscaping company. Let's put that in. All right, so now we've got this image media situation. We've got an overlap. We've got this going on. This is the kind of situation where, okay, if you follow my process at all, maybe you watch the Mark Zemansky series that I've done. I do what I call scaffolding first. Scaffolding is literally like go through and get as much shit on the page as you can possibly get. Don't get bogged down in complex areas and details, because overall, you'll spend so much time on that little area that when your work session is done, you'll feel like you did not get a lot accomplished, right? So I scaffold, which means I skip things like this. I go like, okay, that's gonna be a bit of a situation. And so we're gonna do all the easy, pick up all the low hanging fruit off the tree, okay? And then climb higher, all right? That's kind of what I do. All right, so let's go, yes, don't forget a thumbs up. Don't forget a thumbs up. All right, if we look at the structure now, somebody asked about the structure of the page, right? What are we looking at so far? We're looking at a header, we're looking at main, we're looking at a footer. This is what you wanna see. Then you open up main and you see a section. That's all you see. It's all very, very, very clean code. There's my component right there for my introduction, okay? H2, PP, these are all these divs were created by me, okay? They're not generated by Etch, they were created by me to group associated content for the purposes of controlling the different layout shifts and all that good stuff, okay? But that is exactly, it's the only thing you will see in the DOM is what you put in the DOM. That's it, in Etch, okay? You're not gonna see anything extra. There's no extras, no nonsense, no shenanigans, okay? All right, we're gonna do this this little row right here, we're still in the hero section, okay? This is gonna be, or actually, you know what? We probably want this little strip, right? Like imagine this, okay, as like one separate thing. And we'll call that like a talking points section. The problem is it doesn't have a heading, okay? So it can't actually be a section because it would need to have an H2 heading if it was gonna be its own section. We can use a section structure, okay? We can make it, it's essentially gonna be a section. It's just not semantically going to be a section. So, or we could use content grid. Or we could still kind of do that. Okay, let's try it this way. Let's go CTA, not CTA row. Let's go talking points row. Okay. And then whether I need to make this a component or not, I'm not sure yet. All right. So talking points row is going to be a div. We're going to need a paragraph in there. Then we're going to need a flex div, which is going to be for the list of talking points, which I can call a talking points list. And then I can come in here and I can say a talking point card. And then I know it's got a, well, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's do, it would be an H2 heading. It would be an H2 heading. And then we have the description. All right, so we have the heading, we have the description, we have the talking point there, talking points list. I guess at that point, I don't know, it typically could be its own section. All right, let's make this an article. Let's right click, let's say convert this to a list. That's gonna give me a nice list structure. Talking points row, text. Okay, I'm not even looking at the visual. Okay. Talking points list, talking point card, that I want to BIM on. Okay, let's make that a component. I think we're gonna do that. Save. I'm not gonna add any props for right now. But I am gonna make that a component real quick. Okay, talking points list, that's good. All right, let's go talking points list. And we have a talking points list item. And then that talking point card is gonna get its own classes. What I'm gonna do now is, because I think we're gonna fake this a little bit, okay? So we're gonna call this hero section. And I'm gonna put a, I'll do main hero. We'll do main hero for this, main hero. All right, talking points, row, yeah, talking points row. All right. Talking points row, talking points row, talking points row, content, okay. Or main text, or how about lead? How about lead? I like the word lead. Okay, talking points row, lead, talking points list, lead. Okay, good. Talking points row, lead, and that's already talking points row. Fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna use content grid to expand this out to full width and make it look like it, you know, is kind of its own little new area, but you'll see. Okay, this is gonna be main hero. We're gonna come in down here and we are going to use content grid on this. Okay, so that's gonna give me my content grid structure, which means that I can go to my talking points row now and I can say grid column is full. That's gonna now go full width. I'm gonna go with padding. Notice, look at the labels, guys. Look at the labels. Do you see that? Look at this. Look at this, what I'm gonna get with the padding. Okay, I've got like, essentially, oh, we do probably need to keep, if Andrea is watching, we need to keep the word padding just because they won't learn the icons, right? So that's an adjustment we'll have to make. Instead of just showing the nice name, it needs to be like the property and the nice name. I call these nice names, okay? But this is padding. It's gonna insert my padding, and it's gonna insert it with fallbacks. And in this case, I just want section space M, and then I want gutter on the sides, okay? Just like this. So that should kind of act like it's its own section. And then in this section right here, I'm going to do a padding, and sometimes it's just faster to, I need to do padding block end of 0, and that's gonna take the bottom padding out of this section. Okay, fantastic. And then what I can do is, let's go with a background of BG Ultra Dark. I don't know, what are we, I should probably look at the reference. Okay, that looks like BG Dark, and that's in both places. BG Dark in both places. And now I'm wondering, actually, maybe we should just do this and this, because we're gonna get auto color relationships going, at least a little bit. Let me look at the, oh, that's not dark up there. That's right, that's right, that's right. Okay, we can remove that class. It just is a faked, okay. All right, I see what we need to do. So I'm gonna fold that code up right there, and I'm gonna come down and we're gonna do a background of linear gradient. We're gonna use, there's a bunch of techniques that you can use to fake an overlap. Remember, there's gonna be images right here. Let me also put in my images row. All right, so we'll do a flex div. This is gonna be our image group. And you know, obviously this is just a placeholder for right now. So I'm gonna move this up above the talking points, and I'm just gonna throw one image in here as a reference for our overlapping situation. I just need to see something here to dial in our overlap. What's one of these images that'll work? Just use any image, I really don't care. Okay, so this is good here. Let's go a gap of 0. Yeah, that should work well, okay. When we do the image group, we can put in our, well, you know, I don't know. Do we want a gap 0? I don't know if we want a gap 0. Let's take out the gap of 0. We can yeah, we don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about that. Ooh, you know what? Okay. I'm trying to think about, yeah, this is probably always gonna be here. Okay. All right, let's do the linear gradient. We're gonna do the linear gradient. So if you do 2 top, red and blue, you're gonna see your gradient, right? So now imagine, what if blue was transparent? Okay, so let's make blue transparent. Now we only have the red. What if this is 50% and this is 50%? It's gonna make a hard edge. It's gonna look like an overlap. Now, what if instead of red, we were using base dark, BG dark. What if we were using BG dark, the same color as we're using down here? It looks like just this situation extends up and in. And then we can just dial this in. As long as these numbers are the same, right? We're gonna get this kind of effect where we have, here's your image, which we'll fix that in a second. You know what, that might be a content grid, image group. Oh, did I use, I don't know what I used there. Did I use a flex div? Probably used a flex div. Okay, let's do main hero image group, and we'll do grid column content. Okay, let's see if that helps. Okay, we're gonna have to debug our content grid in just a second. My recipe is not recipeing. All right, let's take that out for a second. Okay. There is the overlap in here. It's just you can't see it right now because it's hidden behind this little section. If I extended it up probably 60, let's just see. There you go. You can see it's still there. So when we have our image group in, we'll worry about dialing in our overlap. All right, we have this. We're gonna go talking point card list item times 3, take our talking points list. We're gonna decide, obviously we want it to stack by default. It's where do we want it to become a grid? And probably somewhere around 11, yeah, somewhere around here. I don't really care. Let's right click and let's add a media query. We could switch these to container queries if we want. Notice that it already generates the value that I was looking for. And then I can display this as a grid, and I can come in here and I can say grid 3, and it's gonna be a 3-column grid. And then it's gonna go from 3 to 1 below that automatically. Okay, so we're making everything nice and responsive. We have a introduction situation here where we just want some, well, actually, we don't need lorem because I can just grab the actual text. So let's grab that. Let's come back in and let's paste. Fantastic. Okay, Got that going on. What are our actual talking points? We're doing everything static, and then we're gonna come back and we make things dynamic. So when you're scaffolding, you just kind of worry about, like I said, getting stuff on the page, getting the structure going. We're gonna go, this doesn't have any props yet, so everything's gonna have the exact same content for right now. We're gonna pop that in, 15 plus, and then this is years of landscaping experience. All right, and there we go. All right. Oh, excellence, sorry, excellence was the thing. While I'm here, I can right click, create BEM classes, and I can style these up just a little bit. So we can center all of this stuff. We can set a gap of, let's do, I can add, look, I can add one, and I want to add card gap because I didn't see card gap there. Let's add a card gap, and let's add that, and now card gap is an option for my gaps. Look how fast I can just customize my little mini GUI. I told you, you guys are, now that we're seeing like nice names in here, and look at this, look at this. I mean, it's gonna be so absolutely helpful. Card heading right here, we can just hit bold on, and then, font size, watch this. So here's your font size. I've got text M. What if I wanted to do like H2 and go var, this should be my H2. I'm gonna put that in, and now I have H2 as an option to choose, okay? I think it's already an H2, so it's already the H2 size, but you get it. Like I can add things to the menu. Okay, let's go ahead and save that there. We have our top out. Let's go to our talking points list, talking points row lead. Let's center this text and let's go ahead and put a max width on it, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I don't know if I extended yet, I didn't. So max inline size, I don't know, what, 60 characters? 60 characters, that seems about good. Talking points list, talking points row. Lead, list. Let's go ahead and put a container in here because it's supposed to behave like a section. So talking points, row, double underscore, and we're gonna go with inner, okay? And I'll change that to inner. So that matches, fantastic. All right, we can flex column this, we can center it, and we can content gap it. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's go check our front end real quick. Fantastic. All right, we're getting some work done. Again, we're just scaffolding right now. That's all pretty good. That's all pretty much the essence of what we wanted it to look like. Okay, we're gonna do another section now. And we're gonna do this, our mission. Okay, so I'm seeing a container here. This is probably just the introduction, the section intro with everything hidden and aligned left. And then we have a box and we have a box, just a simple 2-column layout, okay? We'll call this the sidebar box. We'll call this the, content box or something, I don't know. All right, so let's go in and there's our first row. Let's go ahead and add our section intro component back. Let's see all the things we can hide. I can hide the lead, I can hide the CTA, I can hide that, I can align it left. I can't hide the pill, which I could add logic for if I wanted to, but I don't really care. We're just gonna have a pill. We're gonna have a pill in because it's the best way to do it because that's the H2. And I think, did I add logic to control the H1 versus H2? We may need to add that in. Okay, so section heading, that's gonna be this. What is this section for? This is our mission. All right, so I'm gonna write our mission here, and then we're gonna need some compelling mission headline. Goes here, there you go. All right, actually, you know what? There isn't any headline. It's literally just the section heading. Okay. All right. Let's add some logic. Let's add a switch, a Boolean. Let's come down. Okay. We're going to say show headline, true or false. Okay. We want it to be true by default. Otherwise, they're all going to disappear on us. Okay. I've already got some conditions. Okay. So if condition, that's for the lead. Here's the headline. Let's right click. wrap in condition, okay? If props.show headline, save, and we'll exit. Now I've just built in logic, okay? I didn't have logic a minute ago that I needed, but I've just built it in to where I can just get rid of the headline. And now I'm just left with the actual heading of the section. Now I'm gonna have this as the inner, okay? So that like one little section introduction component just has all this flexibility baked into it to really just kind of do whatever I need to do with it to create a section heading. Okay, here we're gonna have our inner, and this is gonna be with 2 flex divs. We're gonna have our content wrapper, we're gonna have our sidebar. All right, sidebar is gonna have a CTA card in it. Let's go back. Yeah, so that's gonna be a basic CTA card. Am I gonna use that again? I don't know. So we'll make it a component just in case. We'll call it a simple CTA. Simple CTA. And then I just need some paragraph text in here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into, let's use Claude today. Let's use Claude. And let's say, hey, convert this to raw HTML, okay? Great. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does with that. How much shit is Claude gonna give me today? Let's go with the inner, okay? This is gonna be the mission section. So we have mission section, it has an inner, it has a content wrapper, it has a sidebar, it's gonna have some content in the content wrapper. In the sidebar, it's gonna have a simple CTA card, simple CTA card, okay? It's gonna have a, is it a heading? All right, we'll make it a heading. We'll make it a heading. We'll throw a button in there as well. That's gonna have button primary on it. All right, and then this is going to say call to action, okay? This is gonna say, this is your call to action text. This is your prominent call to action text. Okay, great. Simple CTA, right click, create BEM classes for that. I don't really think it needs any styling. Like it just is styled the way it's there, sitting there. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and we do need to right click, make that a component so it excludes itself from auto BIM when I do all the parents. Okay. Come on, buddy. All right. So let's go with mission section, create BEM classes, and that all looks good. All right, let's go to our inner. And I think what we should probably do here is display grid. And actually, no, we're gonna decide again where we want this to be done. Where do we have room? Probably in the neighborhood of here. Probably in the neighborhood of here. So I'm gonna right click, add a media query. So at greater than or equal to, I'm gonna display this as a grid. And we could do grid 2, which is gonna do this. It's gonna give us our side-by-side layout. Let's look and see if that's that's not the ratio that we actually want though. We want more of an uneven grid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go min-max. I'm gonna go 0, 1 FR. I'm gonna repeat that. That's gonna give us our even columns again. And now just changing the fractional unit, we're gonna get kind of the layout that we want. All right. I'm gonna go with a gap of grid gap in here, but I'm going to, let's go with a gap of, we could go flex column in the normal area and just go content gap in that normal area. I'm just gonna select these and I'm going to bump them up because I want those to definitely come first. Okay, fantastic. That's all good. What's Claude up to? Done. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Exactly what I asked for. Thank you, Claude. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so we're just gonna come in here, paste, bang. I don't know that I want those to be I do need those to be H2s. I do need those to be H2s. And I want this simple CTA to be an H3. All right. I mean, technically, I guess that could be an H2 as well. I mean, what's stopping it? What's stopping it from being an H2, huh? You tell me. Okay. I think what we want is this content wrapper right here. We're gonna put a little max inline size on that. How about like 60 characters? And that's gonna make that look a little bit better, a little bit more sculpted. Look at this, coming together, just scaffolding up a page, okay? H2, 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 whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Let's leave it. That's all good. It's all good. I'll put this real content in a minute. Let's go back and see. We need a services section. Okay. All right. Let's add another section. Let's come down. Say services. All right. What do we need? Well, I'm guessing we're gonna need a section intro. Just a guess. So I'm gonna throw a section intro in. Okay. I'm guessing we're gonna need that to be centered. Do we need no CTAs? Oh, there is a lead. Oh, this site. Yeah, there's a little problem with this site going on here. A little problem here. All right, there is a lead and there's no CTAs, but I feel like there should be a well, these are the only two services. So I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine to not have a CTA. So we'll hide those. We'll keep all this the way it is. The main section heading will be our services. Services. Okay. Section headline. Do we have anything good? We didn't have anything good. So I'll just leave that there so we know that we need it. What did that lead paragraph that we can't even see say? Oh God, this is just, I mean, who even, do we use AI for this copy? Choose a service below to learn more about what we do. I mean, this is the most basic stuff in the world. Okay. Clearly this was a free project. No copywriting was paid for. Okay. We need service cards. So we need a service list. Now, I'll explain to everybody, as you probably will see, or what you should see as we go, is as you build out the components that are needed, these things get reused on other pages, right? So the more you accomplish, the faster it ends up going as you go, right? The speed of development accelerates. There's a lot to do in the very beginning, and then there's less and less and less and less to do because it's just reusing the same kind of things over and over and over again. So we have a services list. I like to make that plural, services list. We're gonna come in with a service card. Okay, and then what do we need in our service card? We're gonna have a media wrapper and a content wrapper. So let's go flex div. This is gonna be and I'm gonna put this all the way down. So let's get all this real estate here. A media wrapper and a content wrapper. Of course, like technically speaking, our content should come first, even though visually we want the media to come first. We know we're gonna need a heading. So this is gonna be fine. The default for this is gonna be H3. The other thing is, because we're componentizing things, I don't have to cross every T and dot every I as I go. Because it's a component, I can control it later. Anything that's like making this heading tag dynamic, the ability for the component to switch it between an H2 and an H3, that can all be added later. It does not have to be done now. Components protect you in a lot of ways. Okay, so we have a heading. Is there anything else? Yeah, there is a description. So we're gonna add text. So we're gonna call this description. Perfect. We have a media wrapper, which is gonna have media in it. The media wrapper is actually gonna be a figure element. Okay, so we've got a proper figure element. We've got our heading and our description inside of our service card, which we're gonna create a BEM, and then we're gonna create a component. We're gonna go ahead and save that, and then we're gonna exit it until we have our simple CTA. Wait, hold on, what did I just, okay, service card. Bring that down. What we need to do, Andrea, make a note of this if you're watching. I think Andrea's watching. We need to put the height of these panels in like memory so that it stays where I put it, okay? All right, so this is fantastic. What we can do is just do some simple styling on this service card real quick. Service card, that's all good. Let's go flex, and then let's grab the media wrapper right here. And do I have order available to me? I don't think I have order yet. Let's do an order of -1. I'm gonna bump that to the top. Everything else, I think we need a little card padding, but where do we need it? Oh yeah, look at this, okay? So this is a little bit different. This card doesn't really follow the normal card structure on this site. because it's a little custom. So we're not really gonna leverage the card framework for this. We're just gonna go padding of like 0.25 em. It's got like a sliver of padding. It's got like a sliver of padding. Now in here, we can do card padding. So we're gonna go padding. And I don't have card padding. I can add it. Look at this, var card padding, okay? And now, boom, it's an option. So my card padding is in there. And I think, let's look at it. Yeah, it's like card padding. It's like half card padding. I could actually go with a card padding half, and I can actually put a calc here. And I can go card padding divided by 2. I do this a lot. I use this a lot. And now I can easily access half of my card padding if I want half of my card padding. In here, I'm gonna go with a gap of 0. And look at this. I have content gap, obviously, as the default. I have grid gap, container gap, card gap as other options. What about none? Gap 0. I can just add that as a quick option to easily be able to go, hey, get rid of the gap here. Get rid of the gap here. Okay, so this is gonna be card heading. This is going to be a card description. Remember, this is all gonna be loop driven, so we don't need to worry about really putting in any content right now. We just need to be able to see that this card is working as expected. I'm just gonna go in and put a random photo. Perfect, we'll go size. What size do we actually need on these? Probably the medium large size. Let's go ahead and save, and we can exit. We now have what appears to be a service card. It looks like it has a background color. Let's go see, let's inspect it real quick, find out what the background color of our card is. So that is here, and it is gonna be BG Ultra Light. BG Ultra Light. So I'm gonna edit the service card. We're gonna come in, background is BG Ultra Light. Okay, there we go. We've obviously got some tailoring of our colors that we need to do, but it doesn't matter because you can do it at any time. As long as you use the right tokens in the right place, you can do the fine tuning anytime you want. We just need the right tokens in the right place. I'm guessing that this is probably gonna need a border radius on it. Yeah, okay, all right. My OCD is not gonna let that slide. So let's go add that real quick. It's just a click of a button, bang, default radius, okay? Border radius, done. Save, except for the fact that it looks like border radius. Oh, let's go in and see. Let's make sure we have it set. Border radius 5 pixels. All that is good. All that is good. I don't know why I don't see it, but we'll check in a minute. Okay. Was I doing that on my simple CTA card? That's why. That's why. Okay. We don't want to be there. That's why we need this panel to remember where it's supposed to go. That's going to be a big adjustment. What I'm trying to communicate, very important, Andrea, that we that we do that ASAP, because this is why I build real shit in the tool, because you got to see what is annoying, what is annoying me, like as I try to work, right? Let's get the annoyances out of the way. Okay, so content, this is the one that needs the default radius. So we put that on there, but we do not want it on the content wrapper. Helps to select the correct thing. And let's click the button. Okay, save, and now we can exit the component. All right, so we've got a services list with a services card, right click, create. Can I convert to list? Okay, I don't know why I can't convert to list in this mode, but we'll do right click, we'll wrap in a div. That div is gonna become a list item. This is the item. We've got our services list, and then this is gonna be the services list item. Okay, save, perfect. This is gonna need to be a 2-column. Actually, I'm gonna do an auto grid here. We're gonna do an auto grid, okay? No, I'm gonna do a variable grid, because what I want, okay, let's look at variable grid here. I'm just gonna set a minimum card size, okay? And then what's gonna happen is this it's a grid that builds itself, but it can never the cards can never be squished below a certain amount. So watch, as I add more, it then decides, oh, we've hit our minimum, so let's just keep filling the grid out, okay? It's a really, really, really powerful grid structure, very, very, very flexible. And so what happens is I don't have to choose a number of columns. If there's 3, it's gonna look good. If there's 4, that's a little unfortunate. We might wanna come like adjust it at that point. But if there's only 2, watch what happens. Like I go down, there's 3, looks great. If there's only 2, it looks great. And if there's only 1, here's the question, right? If there's only 1, this is where you need container queries inside the card structure to change the card structure. We'll add that in a minute. I don't care about it right now as part of the scaffolding, but that is fixable with container queries, okay? All right, so this is fine. Let's go ahead and save. Let's go refresh on the front end. Is this supposed to have a background of some sort? It is. We're just gonna use BG Ultra Dark for right now. So we're gonna do, let's make sure we've selected the correct thing. This is gonna be services section, okay? Services section, but I'm also going to do BG, let's say Ultra Dark for right now. Okay, this is one of the things I was working on in the new refactor with color relationships is not affecting the children. So I'm gonna take that off. We won't do that for right now. We'll just add a background color. Let's go to, there's image, this is why we need the labels for sure, backgrounds. All right, so this is gonna be BG Ultra Dark, and that should be good for right now. And then what we need is we need a way to flip this to a light theme, okay, or a light scheme, right? So that's gonna be an option that we need to add into this section intro as we go. Okay, so we're gonna do that. That's fine. What else is next? All right, so we've got testimonials, what our customers say. So we're gonna add a section here. We're gonna go with testimonials, okay? And I'll add the word section. We'll keep everything consistent, testimonial section. This is gonna be the inner. I'm gonna go ahead and add a section intro to this. Perfect, bring that up, bring that up, bring that up. There we go. Let's center it. All right, I don't think we have any CTAs or anything like that. Nah, it's just those 2 things right there. Just the heading and the headline. So I can get rid of the lead, I can get rid of the primary CTA, the secondary CTA, and there we go. Section heading, services, or no, I'm sorry, testimonials. And then this will just say like what our customers are saying. All right, perfect. This is gonna be a testimonials list. Testimonials list, we'll flex div, testimonial card. We will article this. We'll go back and see what we need here. All right, so we're gonna need a rating widget. That's gonna require some logic. We're not gonna worry about the logic for it right now. We're just gonna have it be 5 stars. We can add the logic later. So we need a rating, or let's call it a, we're gonna build a rating. Actually, you know what? Let's see if I have one. Let's see if I have one. Did we already build one? That's the question. We don't wanna do work that we don't have to do. Interactive, introductions, headers, footers, content features, blog, avatars. I don't think we have one. Let's go to testimonials. It would be maybe in a testimonials card if we have one. Can we steal one? No, we don't have one. Okay, not yet. We will soon. But we are gonna build this as an atomic component, like a very small component inside of our testimonial card. So I'm gonna add a wrapper for that. Let's just add a div. This will be called star rating, okay? Star rating, okay? And that's fine for right now. Let's throw in an SVG. And I don't know, well, we should have a star in here somewhere because this all has the media. There we go. Let's just use that media. There's our star. We got a little star. Okay, so this is gonna be a star. And the way that you do this is you, I think you roll equals none and you aria hidden equals true on the star. On the rating, you roll equals image and you aria label equals, and then X star rating. So the X obviously will be the number eventually. So it'll read out as one thing. It'll say 5-star rating or something. and then it'll read the testimonial, right? So this is kind of just some accessibility stuff that we're trying to kind of cross the T and dot an I here as we go. Star rating and star, so we're gonna right click, create BEM classes there. Star rating can just be display flex of row. We can align all of the things to the center. We can go to the star. We can do a inline size. We're gonna bring in a, I don't know, 24 pixels, something like, what a guess. What an absolute guess. Now, I do want that to be in rim. So I'm gonna go to rim 24 pixels, okay? And that's gonna convert it to rim on the front end. And that's gonna make that more accessible as well. Okay, so we've got our star rating. Now that we've done all of our things to our stars, we can just duplicate them. And then in our star rating, we can also drop a gap in. And then instead of content gap, you know what, I will do this off of content gap, but let's just do divided by 5 and drop a calc in the front. And there we go. So spacing is still based on our content gap. It's just a division, a divisor, a divider, whatever you want to. I went to public school. If you didn't know, I went to public school, okay? So it is what it is. We need a call out. We need a call out. All right, so testimonial card, we're gonna go call out text. Call out text. This is gonna be call out. And then we're gonna come down to our actual quote, okay? Quote. So we're gonna come in and we'll just duplicate the call out, call that a quote, and block quote it. Just say, hey, this is gonna be semantically a block quote. And then what I can do in my call out text is I can say, let's do lorem 20 and just drop some text in there for right now. Then I need, oh, this looks like a group. This looks like a group. So I'm gonna add a div. We'll just call this the footer, okay? Footer, or we can call it the identity wrapper. Let's call it the identity wrapper, and we'll put 2 text elements in it. So we need an identity wrapper, so we'll just add a flex div. We'll call this identity wrapper, and we'll put 2 text elements in there, one of which is the name, and the other is the source. That is the source of the review. Okay, so I've got name, source, identity wrapper. I've got my quote, my call out, my star rating, which I am going to create a component. Now, we don't have fully blown nested components yet. So what I'm gonna do is when I make this card a component, testimonial card, and let's right click and convert this to list. When I make this card a component, I'm probably gonna put this rating widget in a slot. I think that's probably gonna be the best way to, I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so right click, testimonial card. We can create a component out of this. Okay, let's save. We don't need any props for right now. We'll get there, and we'll do all the styling in just a second. I wanna do the testimonials list items, so we'll just create BEM classes on those. And the testimonials list needs to be a 3-column grid. So once again, we're gonna figure out, based on these cards, where are they gonna no longer be acceptable to be like wide? I would say right there, we could go to, let's make the decision right. That's actually not bad. Especially if it had a little bit more content and a little styling. I don't know. We may end up changing these with container queries at some point too. I'm actually going to use container queries. I'll use it. Well, I don't know. This is just the whole list. Yeah, I will. I'm going to use it on the list. So we're going to right click, add has-me selector, right click, add container query. When it's greater than here, we're going to display this as a grid, and we're gonna say that this should be a 2-column grid. It's gonna help if I can visualize by having more list items in here. So let's put more in here. Okay. And then I would say, I don't know, probably here. Let's add a container query, and we can just grab that, steal that line and say, all right, repeat 3 now, you know? Okay. And that's fully done with container queries now. So you can actually take that list and just stuff it anywhere, like in a sidebar, and it'll behave like it's on a mobile device, essentially. All right, yeah, it's pretty good for now. We can come back and, I mean, all this stuff is done with BIM and components. You can adjust it at any time. That's why you don't have to get it like perfect. And this is the whole point of scaffolding, is like, just move as quickly as possible, get as much done as possible, and then come back and start to button things up. Cross T's, dot I's, all that good stuff. It looks like I did not auto BEM this, so let's right click and let's create the BEM classes for this. Let's go with our call out text. We're gonna go ahead and make that bold. Let's come down and do our name. We're gonna make that bold as well. We're gonna grab our identity wrapper. We're gonna put a flex column on there. We're gonna put a content gap of card gap. Okay, content gap, container gap, card gap, none. I didn't do a half. Did I? I thought I did a half. Did I do the half on padding? Okay, let's open this up. Let's do card gap half. Card gap half. And then we're gonna calc this. And that is a card gap divided by 2. And we'll go pop that in. And now I have card gap half. Look at this. Look at us go. Look at us go. All right. Person's name. And then this is going to be the source. So verified Google review. All right, there you go. On the source, we're gonna go with, you know what? I want text S, okay? So we're gonna go text S, var, text S. Pop that in. That is now an option, and I'll drop that down to text S. All right, let's go ahead and save. That came together pretty well. Let's exit. Fantastic. We'll add props to all of that as we get into that territory. Okay, let's come down and we've got a, I think this CTA, does this show up a lot of places? Is this in the footer? It is, look at this. It's gonna be everywhere, isn't it? Okay, so to make this CTA, we're gonna head back to our index template. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click our templates, I'm gonna hop back over to our index template, and I'm gonna situate that right above our footer. So I'm gonna add a section in here. We're gonna call this footer CTA. I'm gonna drag that so it's right above our footer, and we're gonna just see how this is actually, you know what, guys? I think it just uses the section intro. Like, that's all it does. Just pop a section intro in there. Let's make sure that that's centered. That's our CTA right there. All right, let's go footer CTA. Let's come in and we need an image and we need an overlay. That's all we need. So I'm gonna throw an image in there and I'm gonna throw a div for our overlay. This is gonna be our overlay. This is gonna be our BG image, okay? And then all I need to do, let's choose an image here. Let's just grab that one. We'll come back and, you know, actually put the right images in the right place later on. So here's the BG image, here's the overlay, right click, create BEM classes on this, take my BG image, I can just is BG this, and then I can come to my overlay and I can also is BG this. And then, I mean, what else do I need to do? Just go on my overlay right here and drop a, what do I want? I want a color mix, okay? And I want that to be on my background. So there's my transparency right there. I want this all to be light. Okay, I think we'll do this now to tackle it, so it's good to go. So we'll do our edit section intro, and I think what I'm gonna need, I've got style. Ooh, this should have been called alignment. That should have been called alignment. Because now, all right, we'll do scheme. How about that? All right, so let's add a select and we'll do scheme. And dark is gonna be the default. And light is gonna be the secondary option. And then I'm trying to think exactly how because can I use color scheme for this? Can I use color scheme to accomplish this? I think I can. I think I can. Dark, light. Those are going to be the values. Let's think about this for a second. Let's just try. Let's try something. I'm going to go to the section intro. Let's just, what happens? Well, that's going to be nice. If I can get I think we can cheat. I think we can cheat and do this. It's what I've been doing a lot in ACSS 4. We're gonna have to see, okay, we're gonna have to take a look at what's going on here with our buttons and such, but I think this is gonna be the way that we wanna do this. And then I'm gonna show you how you can fine tune it later if you need to. What is going on here that this is not being picked up by color scheme is the question. Yeah, it doesn't pick it up at all, which tells me, and this could just be an ACSS 4 thing that is a thing that needs to be buttoned up. I'm gonna go to the front end and inspect this real quick. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, let me go, oh, spam callers calling me. Oh, yeah. I baked that in. We don't wanna bake that in. Okay. I was doing it as an experiment. All right, so we're gonna go var scheme. And then, so color scheme is scheme. And if we go with an inline style to put a props dot scheme on here, that's gonna just add, it's just gonna make our selector select, okay? Now this is a little bit weird because dark actually makes it light, right? Because that's your dark scheme. Like you're essentially choosing what scheme you wanna force here. So light should actually be the default, which will make the text dark because your light scheme is dark text. Your dark mode scheme is light text, right? You just gotta know that that's what's happening. But I now have a selector, kind of just like that, where I can control each independent instance now, where I go scheme, dark, and it's gonna switch it to the dark scheme. We just gotta button some stuff up here and figure out why this stuff's not switching automatically. And it's probably honestly just an ACSS 4.0 kind of situation. So let's go to the front end and let's refresh. We've got, I mean, we're building out, we're almost done with the home page here as far as like scaffolding goes. This is another area though, okay, where I'm gonna stress when you're scaffolding, don't get bogged down. Just keep moving. Because you gotta understand, you're using components, you're using BIM, all this shit can be fixed later. You can duplicate this 1,000 times and you're gonna be able to fix it later in one place, okay? So it's not, if you were doing ID styling and you were doing copy paste styles and you were doing this ridiculous workflow that, all page builders, encourage you to do, you gotta button that shit up now. Because once you start copying that everywhere else, it's a done deal. Like that's a life you don't wanna live, right? This is a new paradigm where I know that's componentized. I know this can be fixed at any point in time. I just got to keep moving, okay? We just got to keep scaffolding. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our nav situation in so we can actually start to navigate this site from the front end. So I'm going to go to my templates. I'm going to go to my index to make sure we don't have two editors open at once, okay? We can actually get rid of, we'll leave Claude open. Let's put Claude in the dev department here. Okay. So I'm gonna handle this situation right here. This is done with our loop manager. You can use a JSON file for your navigation. Very soon we will be we'll have some sort of hook into, not the old navigation system, but it would be the FSE navigation system. But here we go. We're gonna go about, okay? Label about, and this actually does not need any children. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna grab the URL here. I'm gonna put that in, okay? So we've got about with the URL. This is gonna be services, okay? So this is not gonna have a URL because it has children. Services, we'll say like service 1 for right now. We'll say service 2 for right now, okay? And there are no more services. There are just 2 services. So we'll put that in. Thinking off the top of my head, what do we need? I think it's estimate is one of them. Estimate, okay, estimate. We can go to the front end again and check. Okay, well, that's the wrong front end. Let's go to this front end and check. This is gonna be, okay, contact and get an estimate, which is like, really? Do we want those two things to be side by side? I don't know. I think contact can go like in the footer somewhere, you know? Let's just make get estimate up there. All right, so let's go back and estimate. That's it. Let's just take this one out. Okay, so there's my nav right there. All right, and look, my nav is done. Oh my God, it's built. Fantastic. All right, save. While we're here, let's go ahead and drop in our actual logo, Artisanscapes. Use that media. Fantastic. Great. Nice. Wonderful. All right. Let's go refresh on the front end. Okay. Nice. I'm going to take a little eye break, and I'm just going to look at the chat here. We're talking about Firehouse subs. Just a quick thank you for the ability to edit HTML. It's seriously helping me. Yeah, it's once you have access to that, man. This live stream would pair well with a Jersey Mike sub. Okay. Yeah, the mini GUI is fantastic. Mini GUI is fantastic. Especially now that you can tailor it to exactly what you need it to do, right? It's great. It's great. Let's look at like, let's go to color scheme real quick. Let's go to force dark, right? And just see what needs to be buttoned up. I mean, a lot of it is going to work out of the box. I'm just curious as to, let's go light only again. And then we can put it on auto. Oh, I put it on light dark. No, we want light only. Okay. Let's look at, I bet it's, let's see, color scheme, palette, primary. Okay. The auto scheme would be flipping those. Base is controlling text. The auto scheme should take care. Oh, you know what it is? Okay. I bet. I actually haven't done this on a live build yet. Main color override. You have your lightness and your chroma for that. It would mainly be a lightness. It's because if it's using the main color, it can't flip it. I think is what's going on. And this does use base. So if we go to color assignments, I'm just taking a pit stop here to check this out. Text dark muted uses text dark, which uses black. Maybe it's a base ultra dark, which really should be that anyway. I don't know why we were using black for that on the old project. And then white, I mean, we could use, because I can tailor this base ultra light later. Maybe we'll keep white for right now. I don't know. I don't know how we want to handle it. Let's check if this switch to base ultra dark helped at all with the color scheme situation. So now if we force dark only, and is our text fixed at all? It is, well, it is on here. All right, so what's our headings using? So let's go to headings. Default heading color is primary dark. Okay, well that should be handled automatically. Our H1s are not set. They're just inheriting. And all this is inheriting. Text dark muted. Okay, that got fixed. Let's go back to color assignments and go to, okay, that's all fine. Okay, so I'll just have to investigate what's going on with these headings. All right, I don't want to get bogged down though. So I'm going to go back to light only, go back to where we were. Okay, and we'll keep working. All right, so what I want to do is, you know, let's get the loops. Let's get the loops working. So can we loop the service cards? Can we loop the testimonials? You know, let's get that done before we switch pages. So I'm gonna go to the content hub. I'm gonna go back to home. I'm gonna slide down here. Okay, this is here now. I can go dark and at least get that, you know, some semblance of it working now that we have that switch. So that's nice. All right, so first thing is first, do we have, I think testimonials are a custom post type. We just need to check out what it's called. Let's go to ACF post types, and we have reviews. Okay, so it's not called testimonials, it's called reviews. The key is reviews. All right, so I'm gonna go to the loop manager, and I'm gonna see over here, I don't have a loop for reviews, so I'm gonna add a new loop. We're gonna call this reviews, 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 and I'm gonna say query type is reviews. I'm gonna get all of my reviews. Post per page, I'm gonna say count -1. Okay, so this is, I'm creating an argument that I can pass into a loop, and I'm using a fallback value of -1, which is all of them. I can create arguments for any of these things if I want to. That's the only argument that I feel I'm going to need right now. So I'm gonna jump out of the loop manager. I'm gonna scroll back down to where I need to put my loop. And I am in, you gotta make sure you loop the right thing. You don't wanna loop the card. Because remember, this isn't a list. So you need to loop the list item. That is the thing that needs to be looped. I'm gonna delete the duplicates. I'm gonna take this one that needs to be looped, and I'm gonna wrap in a loop, and I'm gonna choose my reviews loop, and now I'm looping my reviews. Now remember, we did not add any props to our card, okay? So what I need to do, I'm gonna save my work. I'm gonna go into my card, and I'm gonna start doing my props situation. And I'm just gonna do the bare minimum for right now, because remember, this can be done at any time. I'm gonna go call out text, review text, name, source, okay? That's all we need for right now. So call out, and then I'm gonna do my quote, and then I'm gonna do my name, and then I'm gonna do my source. And actually, source, how do we wanna do this? Select source, Google, okay, can be one, Yelp, we'll just do that for right now, okay? That's all we need. So call out, I'm gonna make that the call out. I'm gonna make this the quote text. I'm gonna make this the name. And the source, we gotta handle a little bit differently. I'm gonna go right in here to the word Google. I'll zoom in for you. And I'm gonna put that in brackets and say props.source. We're just gonna inject that right into, and so it's verified Google review, but that's dynamic now. Okay, so I'm gonna save this. Now you can use an object prop. You can use, there's different ways to do this. I'm doing this with manual props, okay? So what I want is item, oh, actually before I do this, I'm just gonna show you, so my call out, okay? This is in a loop, so they're all gonna be the same because it's literally being looped. We need to put dynamic data here. I need to know what the keys are that I can grab, okay? So I'm gonna go into the loop manager, and this is what's great about the loop manager. If you go to reviews, you get an output preview, okay? And so you can come down here and you can see all the available stuff in one of these things. So I'm gonna go category settings. Where is the, okay, so here is, that is one block right there. All right, I don't know how long it is, but let's go down and find, can we find the custom fields that are attached to this? So there's author, we don't need to see that. We don't need to see our categories. We don't need that category. Here's our meta. Review source, okay? Hey, that's a good name for it. Call out, hey, that's a good name for it. Okay, so we got a call out, we got a review source. We do have a relationship going on. We got some relationships going on, okay? So we definitely need the call out, we definitely need the review source, and then it looks like, where's the content of the review? It's in post content. Okay, post content. Now we changed this up recently. So let's go down and see if we can get this done, because I actually haven't done this with the new, we added a security feature where we have to sanitize any code that's coming through. Okay, you understand the reason why. So there's a special handling that we're gonna have to do to get this quote text. And I'll see if I can remember that off the top of my head. If we can't, we'll read the docs. We got docs to help us out. All right, so this is gonna be item.acf.callout. There's our callout right there. We're in a loop that's using item as the key, so we're just gonna use item for everything that we do. For the person's name, we're gonna do item.acf. I believe that's probably their title. And that's not ACF, that's just item.title. So there's the name. And then we have the source, which is Google. Now, is this, okay, I can't remember if we made this. I think this is a combo box, guys. It's a combo box. So even though we created options, we can just put a custom value in at any time. You can just override, I think, okay? I think. Source, maybe not. Maybe we'll have to use the text. Yeah, I don't know. I thought we did that as a combo box. Item.acf. Was it review source or was it source? Was it review source or was it source? Let's go down and find it. Okay, meta. Maybe it will work. Hey, we're not dead yet. We're not dead yet. Review source. Holy smokes, look at that. All right, save. So we can literally have options or pass dynamic data. That's great. That's just great. All right, how are we gonna handle this quote situation? This is gonna be item.content, and you're gonna get the code. I'm gonna have to go back into the testimonial card. And I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna select this block quote and we're gonna say convert to raw HTML. And I'm gonna say, we got a little shortcut for it. I'm just gonna see if that's the right way to do it. Okay, I don't know if it's supposed to turn that into a core paragraph or not, but we're gonna check the front end. All we care about right now is, oh, look at this, look at this. Okay, Tanya is a little wordy, all right? I'm not picking on Tanya, but she's a little wordy. I want to clip this. I want to limit this. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We've got a shitload of modifiers. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. So we're gonna go to dynamic data modifiers, basic modifiers. We're gonna come down here and it's gonna be like some sort of truncate, trim. That removes white space. Truncate, we can truncate characters or truncate words. Okay. Truncate characters, truncate words. Okay, we want truncate words. This is a situation because we're doing a lot here. We're doing a lot. Can we do this on an HTML element? Props. Oh yeah. I think this. Oh, look at this. Look at us go. Look at us go. How many do we want? 15, 25. Oh, we got Tanya under control today. Tanya is under control. We'll just truncate that to 35. Okay, let's save. We don't want to trust it, you know, did it, okay, look at this. Look at us go. Look at us go, friends. All right, so we're looping, we got dynamic data, we got truncation, we need a dynamic star rating at some point. I'm not gonna get bogged down doing that right now. Let's do the services loop, okay? So I'm gonna come back up here. We're gonna take a look at our structure. We've got an item and an item. We only need one of the items. We're gonna right click. We're gonna wrap in a loop. We're gonna go into our loop manager. We're gonna come here. We're just gonna say, hey, you know, I'm gonna need a loop for my services. Services, WordPress posts. I'm just gonna guess that it's services. There it is. You know the drill here. Count -1. We do want it published. We don't want anything special going on. Let's go back. Oh, you know what we didn't do? There's only 3 testimonials in here, okay? So if there were more, it'll just keep adding them here. So this is where you need to come in. You pass the argument, right? Remember the argument I made? Count, okay? Remember I made it -1? We're gonna do 3, okay? So let's save there. Now this is definitely limited to 3. All right, so we're gonna come up here and we're gonna do the same thing. So we did our loop here. So we looped and we did our services. So now we have 2 cards, look at that, fantastic. Okay, we did not do any props on our card. So I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and just eye break, and I'm gonna look at the chat. What'd be cool if we could switch between query and preview in the builder. Yeah, I get it. But I mean, it's gonna put all that preview in the, like where's it gonna put it? In the canvas? That's gonna be, I don't know, that's a lot. Okay. I don't know why we're talking about subs. What would you charge for a website like this? I don't know. I haven't priced out a website in a while. But I have all my pricing and how to do it and all that is in the inner circle. You can go grab all of that actually and price it out yourself. Okay, what are we doing? Well, this is why I don't take a lot of breaks, because it's like, where was I again? Okay. So services, our service card has no props. So we got to fix that situation. So we're going to go service name, service description. Yeah, that's it. Service name, service description. Okay. We'll just click that, click that, click that, click that. Service, we'll go with a media prop because we're going to need the service image. And I think I can just click that, but I'm not sure. No, I don't think I can. So we'll just copy the key. We'll go in and we'll find the actual media. There's the source. Source. Oh, it's doing all of the dynamic data source. Okay, I'm gonna put it in right here. Let's think about this. Service image. Yeah, we need that in brackets. So that's gonna be props.service image. We'll select a default for this. Let's just do this wall. Okay. Service image, props.service image. That should be fine. That should be fine. Okay. Props.service image alt. Okay. And then I'm just going to make a text field for alt text. Alt. Somebody was asking the other day, can the key be different from the label? Yes. I'm going to make it the same just for clarity's sake. There's service image alt, so that should be giving us our alt text, and we'll call this service image. That's going to be our default text there. Let's go ahead and hit save, and let's exit. Okay. Can I swap the image? I was wondering if we were having any trouble with that, and we're not. Okay, perfect. So this is going to be item.featured image. Should get the job done there. It doesn't look like it is. Featured. Did we change this key? We might have changed this key. Let's go into the loop manager. Let's go into our services, landscaping, published, post name, post, featured image. No, it is featured image. It is the same. So we'll have to debug that in just a second. Are we bringing anything else? Are we bringing anything else? So item.title. There's your landscaping. There's your hardscaping. What is the description? Where's that come from? Let's go services. It's probably going to be in meta somewhere. Meta. Oh, look at all the meta. Look at all the meta. Oh, because this is all those custom fields that we created in the old site for customizing the content of the single post template. So that's a lot to wade through. Oh, here it is. Service short description for blurb. Look at that. I was about to search for the word description, but then my eye caught it. So let's go in here and see what happens if we access item.acf.service short description for blurb contains invalid characters in dot notation. Okay. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Okay. So we need to use brackets here, and that should eliminate that issue. Okay. I'm also seeing that these cards need to grow in height. So that should be an easy fix. We're going to edit component service card, flex 1, and then I'm going to use the has me because, well, I don't know. That's maybe not a good way to do it. We just need to make sure that, because it's in a list item, it's a kind of an annoying thing about list items. I might actually change this by default in my reset CSS. You can't use flex items in them because they're not display flex. So what we really need is this service list item, just like that. There you go. That fixes it. Okay. This looks good. This looks decent. Actually, I'm seeing that inner needs to go and expand as well. So we're going to take the content wrapper and we're going to flex 1 on that as well. And then probably take this description, margin block start of auto, shove that to the bottom anytime the card grows. That's what that's gonna look like. So it's gonna keep everything in nice alignment. There's not gonna be a gigantic annoying gap at the bottom of your card. I'd rather have the gap in the middle of the card. And there are ways to mitigate that as well by using display grid and subgrid, but we're not gonna go, we're not getting paid. It's like, this is free. What are we gonna go into all that for? Okay, let's refresh there. Perfect, perfect. So this is being looped. This is being looped. It's great. All right, let's go to about and let's do that. Do we have an about page? Do we have an about page? Yes, we do. I think I just didn't link it up, okay? So let's go back in. Let's go into templates. Let's go into index. Actually, we didn't even need to go there. See, I just gotta get comfortable with, like, we don't even need to go there. We could have done this from anywhere. This just needs to say about, okay? And let's save. Because you can access everything from everywhere at any time. So I'm so used to, like, navigating an old page. I gotta go here, I gotta go there. No, everything's there. Just open it up. All right, then I can navigate from here to my about page if I want to. And we're gonna create a new section, okay? This is gonna be called About Hero, or actually this will be called, let's describe it by what it looks like. So if you go to the About page, that was the other services hero. So if you go to the About page, it's this hero. I could call it featured hero. I could call it, this is gonna be the service hero right here. I don't want to call it About Hero because that limits it to, like, now if you don't use it on the About page, like, what are we doing? It's kind of a bad name. It's kind of a bad name. Let's call it the gallery hero, or let's call it a bento hero. Let's call it a bento hero. All right, because that's kind of like a little bento style image grid. Bento media hero. I don't know. I don't get paid to name things. It just got to make sense. Let's do an inner. This is a completely different hero style. So, like, our section intro is not going to get the job done for this. We're going to need 2 columns. We're going to need content grid. We're going to be pulling out a bunch of different tricks here. So we go flex div, flex div. This is going to be our content wrapper. We need a heading. We need another flex div for the content. And that can have, like, multi-paragraphs in here. We can do, like, P times 2. Okay, let's put 2 paragraphs in there. Let's put lorem 20 in the first one. Lorem 20 in the first one. Let's put lorem 10 in the second one, okay? Let's come down here. That's gonna be our media. We'll say our bento gallery. Let's call it our bento gallery. Let's put an image in there. Image, wrap in div. It's gonna be a figure. Image wrapper. Okay, so we got our bento gallery. Let's get a real image in there. Boom. And just pick one, Kevin. Just pick one. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's go 3 of them. Bento gallery, image wrapper, image wrapper, image. I like all that. Got my P. What else do we need in this section? A link. That's gonna go in the content wrapper that we created. So inside of that content, boom. This will be the CTA. So we've got a P, and that. I wonder if those are gonna get named or not in auto BEM. But I like all this. Let's right click, create BEM classes. They did get a P. Okay, that's fine, whatever. Not that big of a deal. All right, so the inner. This is gonna use a media query. I'm just gonna guess a number. I don't really care. I'll fix it later. We're gonna go display grid, and we're gonna go with a grid 2. Am I doing this on the wrong thing is the question. Bento gallery. Oh, yeah. Greater than or equal. Helps if the calculation is correct. Okay, let's go refresh here. Just see what we've got going on. Getting to some structure. We can close that out. We need to do, okay, Bento Media Hero. We're gonna go content grid here. And that's gonna make this go grid column, content to full. That should go all the way to the edge now. We're gonna take our bento gallery. How do we wanna do this? How do we wanna do this? Do we wanna use grid area? Do we wanna use, this is a 2-column grid with one thing spanning 2 rows. If I did grid area, it would be image 1, image 2, image 1, image 2. Let's try grid area. Let's just try grid area. All right, so I'm gonna display grid, and we actually have a default areas, okay? And the better way to do this is to bring this into different lines, because then you can actually see how they align. All right, and then we're just gonna say 1, 2, 1, 3. Look at us, look at us. Oh, hold on, let me think about this. All right, let's do grid template. Let's do rows. Repeat to min max 0, 1 FR. Is this how we want to do this? Is this how we want to do this? We do need grid template columns. Let's take this whole block. You usually do the columns first, then the areas. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. It should already be handling the span of that. Clearly doing something wrong. Areas 1, 1, 2. Oh, okay. No, I'm just dumb. That's it. I'm just dumb. I haven't assigned anything to a grid area yet. What am I doing? 1. Okay. Oh, okay. Because they're all the same thing. Here's how we do this. Here's how we do this. We go inth child 1. And then remember, this is on the thing itself. 2 and 3. 2, 3. Okay. And then we go grid area 1. Grid area 2. Grid area 3. We need the image itself to be full height. We don't have just a block size yet. Let's just do block size 100%. And let's do object fit of cover. And aspect ratio doesn't really matter. This grid right here, I think it's a very small gap. It's a very small gap. So what are we gonna use? Card gap half, content gap. I never did a content gap half. I'm gonna do a gap of what does 1M look like? What does 0.5M look like? That's enough. We can just use M. This is like a custom gap. Okay. What's wrong with our content grid? What is wrong with our, I've been having trouble with this recipe. Oh, content full. What's that saying? Display flex property on the, what? What? Okay, let's go to content wrapper inner, content full, begin content grid. I wonder if there's a little specificity issue going on. Okay, that's fixed. Why are we so tall? Am I using a tall image? Is that why? Okay, now we are gonna go aspect ratio. Let's go aspect ratio 4:3. Look at us go. Look at us go. Look at us go. It's an unbreakable situation. Okay, so now we're gonna come over here and we're gonna display this as flex and we're gonna go space between. That's gonna bump all those down. Do we want this to be aligned? Yeah, we want it to be aligned. I'm starting to get annoyed that my headings are not bold by default. Like what are we doing here with our headings? Oh, default font weight 700. Look at that. It does help if you set it. If you set it, it does tend to work better. I don't know why it wasn't set from our previous one, but okay, this is gonna be, we need an inline size situation going on here. We're gonna go with 50 characters. There you go. Now, I'm not sure what that's all gonna do on, oh, you know what? I did this the other day. We're gonna take our content grid and we're gonna only apply that. Let's go a media query, greater than, and we're just gonna pick a number that we like. You just pick a magic number, anything you like. What do you feel like today? And then that's only gonna apply content grid on that size and up. And then it's just gonna get rid of the content grid and it's gonna go back to behaving like a normal section behaves. Because, you know, media queries and nested CSS are fucking fantastic. They're undisputed heavyweight champions of web design. All right, I'm also now getting annoyed that my links don't have an accent. So I'm gonna go to buttons and links, and I'm gonna go to links, I'm gonna go to styles, and we're gonna go to decoration, underline. And then we're gonna go underline offset of 0.25 em, 0.15 em. I kinda like that offset. Let's save. That's gonna apply to all of my links now on my website, okay? Looks like yeah, there we go. Look at this, look at us go. Okay, so now we're gonna go with the title of the page, Masters of the Outdoor Aesthetic. Okay, I don't know who wrote that, but it is what it is. We're gonna make this an H1, and all of that is good. My builder doesn't have my new style sheet update from ACSS, so I'm gonna go ahead and refresh this in just a second. Okay, there we go. What else do we need to build? Okay, got a little, what are we gonna call this? Let's call this content section alpha. This is gonna be the first like literal generic content section that we've had to build. So we're gonna go section, give it a generic name, content section alpha, because that's what it is. It's generic. I don't have this in the patterns library, do I? Back to categories, content. Do we have this yet? Do we have anything remotely similar yet? No, we don't. Still building that out. It's gonna have all the frames eventually, but right now we gotta build. We just gotta build. All right, I need a section intro and I need a two column little grid situation. So let's go into our section and let's add this is all, by the way, temporary. This is not, obviously does not look good. And it's hard to navigate. Section intro. Why am I not seeing it? There it is, section intro. Okay, put that up there. Let's go ahead and say center. We do not need a CTA. We do not need that CTA. Do we need a lead? Don't even need a lead. We don't even need a lead here. Turn the lead off. Okay, this is gonna be the inner. This is gonna be column 1 and column 2. Or you can say content wrapper, media wrapper, because that's more specific. Try to use the same names over and over and over and over again, okay? Really, really, really helpful. We need to force this to be a tall image. That's why I'm gonna put in a wide image, because it's gonna remind me to make sure that we force this to be tall. Otherwise, it's not gonna work with the layout. So what we need is some multi-paragraph text. So I'm just gonna go in and essentially, I'm still trying to get this P times 5 lorem 20. See, it's not gonna do the lorem expansion inside of the paragraph expansion, and that really kind of annoys me. Andrea, if you're watching, I really wish we could get that working. And I don't even know if it's gonna work on multi-select. It's not even gonna work on multi-select. You gotta do it like a chump. Look at this. Andrea, I don't wanna live this life, okay? This is not the life I wanna live right here. We gotta improve this. We're just gonna put in nonsense for right now. Okay, let's go to inner content wrapper, media wrapper, image, content section alpha, create BEM classes. There we go. So here's our inner, and we're gonna display this as a grid, and we're gonna make it 2 columns, and we are going to come over here to this one. We're gonna display flex. We're gonna align this stuff to the center. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna go inline size. We're gonna pop a cap on here of 40 characters, 50 characters. Actually, no, we're not. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do, what I think we did on the old site, is we did that here. So we can do 50 characters here, 70, 80, 90. I mean, character count, I don't know that character count really matters here. Let's do width L. Max inline size with L. Do I not have, where's my width variables? Okay. 700 pixels, 8, 9, just find something that looks good for right now. Let's take the image itself, and this is not the direct child of a grid, so we can do block size of 100%. And we can do, that'll handle the aspect ratio. We're gonna go object fit cover though for sure. And so now what we're trying to create is a situation where as this content grows, the image grows with it. You see that? That's what we're trying to accomplish. I feel like this is a little narrow. Maybe let's go 1,000 there. Okay, that gets us that. Is it a 50-50 ratio? It is, and the media wrapper actually comes first. So I'm just gonna order -1 because your content really should come before your media. Well, I guess in this case, it doesn't really matter. In this case, maybe it does make sense for the media to come first. So I'm just gonna change the DOM order. Okay, that's good enough. Let's right click, bang. Okay, we've done our thing there. We don't need all these paragraphs though. That's a little out of control. They just need longer content. All right, we'll get that done at some point in time. All right, now see, that's OCD. That's gonna annoy me. Let's make it a little longer. There we go. Okay, back here. Oh, look, we need a review section. Now, I've already built this. So this is where, yes, okay, we absolutely need a pattern library. We know this, okay? The reason Etch can do so much technical cool shit is because we didn't do some of the icing on the cake stuff yet. The icing on the cake thing would be like, I save that testimonial section to my pattern library in Etch and I can just recall it on this page. We don't really have that yet. So now the good news is you can jump over here and just grab it. Okay, so like this testimonial section, I'm gonna copy it and then I'm just gonna jump back real quick to where I was, the about, and I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna paste, and now my testimonial section is also on my about page. All right, so I can refresh. About page coming to get scaffolding, guys. If you're new here on the stream, you came in mid-stream, we are scaffolding. It's gonna look a little bit like shit because we're just trying to get as much surface area covered as we possibly can. Oh, you're right, Evan. Thank you. Thank you. There's so much going on in my head. All the things. So max inline size, var width of 70. Thank you. 1,000 points to Evan. Okay. I gotta check the chat. I'm just checking the chat. Okay. You will be, so you can proof of concept create CPTs and custom fields right now in Etch. So if I go into the content hub, you can create custom post types, you can create custom fields. Yes, it is a POC level, okay? It was just done as proof of concept. It's not a high priority, like relative to a lot of the other things we're buttoning up for version 1. But I would say look toward the end of Q1 for this to be very like solid, okay? Solid to where you feel like, all right, for most basic cases, I don't need ACF or Metabox or Jet Engine or any of that stuff. And then it's just gonna keep getting better and better and better from there. Someone has a website like this, they're gonna, okay. So let's go back. Is that it? Is that it for the about page? This is the original. Guys, we're done. We're done with the about page. Let's do the contact page because this is another basic quick win that we can get. Look, the map doesn't work. I get this, you know, I'm trying not to talk bad about the Brixies, okay? But the bricks, not Brixies, bricks. This would happen often to me. Like you do an update and then, I don't know, did an API key change? What happened here? But like there was a working map here. There was a working interactive map here. Where is it? I don't know. Like it says, use the scroll to zoom on the map. Where's the map? Okay. It was working at some point. I don't know what happened to it. So I'm going to do the contact page. I'm going to have a 2-column little layout here. All right. Let's see. What tabs can we get rid of? We can get rid of our docs. We can go back. We don't need our about preview anymore. We can just go to the contact page. Open in Builder. Let's add a section. Okay. Contact main section. Okay. Main contact section. That's my dyslexia. It weirdly puts certain words in front of other words. It's just interesting. It's an interesting life. Inner. We're going to go flex div. This is going to be the content wrapper. This is going to be the form wrapper. We're going to go quickly back into WP admin. Very soon we'll have a form inserter for WS Form because we'll build an API and Mark's gonna create one here. But for now, we can grab the shortcode. You know what Etch does? Etch just parses shortcodes. It just does it automatically. At least I hope. Let's go. Heading, text, list. Heading, text, list, badge group. Heading, text, group. You just process that as heading, text, group. Okay? This is going to be our talking points. Our talking points. Talking points list. We already used that class, but we used it as a block class, and we're going to use it as a child class now. Or actually, you know what? I could probably go icon list. Let's just do a generic icon list. Could probably get away with this. Let's put in a flex div as the item. Let's do a icon and a label. Label. Icon. Label. Item. Item, icon, item, label. Better naming. Item, icon, item, label. Better naming. Okay? Right click, convert this to a list. Okay? And now I'm going to create BIM classes for this. Okay, fantastic. Item needs to be display flex row. We need to content gap or not card gap half. Content. All right, it's annoying me. Content gap half and go calc var. I use content gap divided by 2 all the time. Okay, let's put that in. And now I have content gap half. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's align all that stuff to the center and then go, here's one thing. When you do flex, you've got to remember item icon, flex shrink, no. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to shrink. Otherwise, it will F your icons up when these things get too long. Okay, that seems pretty good. So this is talking point number 1. All right, we're gonna go pop, 2 of those. We're gonna come down here, display that in a column. Let's go again to content gap half. And this is working out just fine and dandy. The annoying thing when you do physical icons like this is that, do I have a checkbox, a check mark in here somewhere? Is that you gotta change them all individually. It's not a way I typically like to do it, but it's the way I'm gonna do it for right now. Okay, so there's a little icon list for you. Now eventually those, all these things like a generic, one, we need a repeater prop. So when we have a component repeater prop, we'll be able to make just an icon list component that you could just pop in and then bang, choose how many items are in it and what their icons are. You just gotta do it a little bit manual right now. What is this for? Oh, this was the badge group. Badge group. Okay, now I do know that we have that badge somewhere. It's in our testimonials. It's right there. I need to edit this real quick because it's not I haven't plugged these in as individual components yet, but I do know that was componentized. So I'm gonna go into layouts, and that was testimonial something, testimonial section, Foxtrot. Is that it right there? View, no, of course not. Why would it be the one I clicked on? Why would it be the one there it is, testimonial section Lima. So we're gonna edit this. We're going to edit with Etch, and we are going to take that little badge right there. We're gonna say, excuse me, sir, excuse me. You belong over here now. There it is. There it is. Let's edit that component and let's see what's wrong with our neutral light in OKLCH var neutral. Yeah. Why neutral light? Should be neutral dark, yeah? And I don't actually need that to be transparent. We're gonna use base. Base ultra light. I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna get, yeah, because this is a BIM block in its own. We don't need that. So just bear with me 1 second. Description or lead. This is gonna be the lead. Are all these things the way that I want it? Yes. So right click, create BIM classes. Now that the BIM classes are created, I can paste my list back in. I did not want my list to get infected by the BIM classes of this section. So I just took it out for a second. Okay, so I think this is pretty good here. We're gonna do a lorem 30 or something. Okay, I'm gonna do the inner. This is gonna be display grid column 2. Is it 50-50? It looks 50-50. Looks 50-50 to me. Okay. Okay. Let's just see what we've got for a second. Let's go here. Let's go in a row. Let's align those items to the center. The gap is already good to go. Oh, I thought that was the front end. That was not the front end. Let's go to the front end. There we go. Guys, the form is already styled by itself because automatic CSS now styles forms automatically for you. WS forms. But this is using the site's colors. I have control over all of this in the ACSS dashboard under form styling. You can style the form, but it's already pre-styled in a pretty, decent way. I don't like how close this is. I usually solve this problem not with a bigger gap, but with on a media query of some sort, like greater than 1,000. Greater than 1,000. I just apply an inline size. So we do something like, usually like a character-based inline size, like 50, 60, 50, 55. It doesn't have to be perfect. But now you get this, like, well, more breathing room. We also want to do align items to the center on here. And we want to flex column this, and we want to justify content to the center. And I'm gonna move that code block up. And if we do that, that's what's gonna happen, okay? It's gonna kind of center all this. I think that's more or less what's happening there. We do need on our wrapper, good thing that we have a wrapper, form wrapper. Ooh, okay, the form wrapper, we don't need align items to the center. We need these to stretch. We do need this to stretch because the form wrapper has to be the same height. So we're gonna come in with our padding and our background color. We're gonna say that this is var base ultra light, most likely. Okay, save, refresh. That's gonna get that done. What color is this? What color is this? BG ultralight. Yeah. Why am I using actual color names? I mean, it's the same thing, but I'm gonna go edit it later. Okay, let's put a radius on there. Nice, sweet, done, deal. Okay. What I mean by these colors that I'm tweaking is if you go to color assignments and you go to backgrounds and you see that BG ultralight is using primary ultralight. We're actually mapping the primary color. So if I go to primary ultralight, right? And this is all like definitely like beta right now. Like it's actually technically alpha. But you have the lightness, you have the chroma that you can adjust, and see the big jumps can be made here. You got to be careful with your chroma here. 0.20, 0.15. I'm trying to get, the chroma is essentially the saturation, okay? And I'm trying to dial that back to where it kind of looked like on the other site. Okay, so let's save that. That's a bit better. It's like toned down. It's not so crazy. Did we have a border on that? We did not have a border on that. Okay. All right, no worries. Let's refresh here. That's a bit better. All right, is anything else going on that page? We've got the address. Oh, you know what I should do that I haven't done yet? I should try it. Let's make an options page. I don't even know how to query shit from an options page. I've never done it in Etch. Haven't done it. But you got to do these things. Figure out the workflows, okay? I think contact page is done except for the address section. So this will be, we call that main contact section. This will be the contact details section. But technically it's not even, what does it look like? It's got its own background color, but it's not gonna have a heading. Okay, if you want something to look like a section but not semantically be a section, you can just change it to div. It'll still have the inner container. We'll say contact details section. I'm not gonna call, it's not semantically gonna be a section though, but it is gonna look like a section. It's gonna have the same kind of thing going on. Okay, so we have the inner where we're gonna have a card, contact details card. And inside of that, we're gonna have text, which is like the, we'll call it like the title. I mean, you could call it heading, even though it's semantically not a heading. Let's just do that. And then we're gonna have the info, okay? All right, actually, would description make sense here? Contact details card, description info. Like the description is, where'd the original go? Address and phone. Oh, there's a little icon over there too. Doesn't that just throw you for a loop? I bet you, like, I'm like, can I use grid areas? Like, I'm a grid areas like fanboy right now. Contact details, let's throw an icon in here. Mainly because I wouldn't need another wrapper. So icon, I'm gonna call this title. I don't know. If something's calling me to call that title. And then the, let's call this data. That's the data of it's the details. How about details? All right, naming stuff is hard. Icon, title, details. All right, what if? I'm just gonna do it. Grid areas, okay? And this would be, now I gotta get my brain to visualize because I do kind of like the idea of this being all in one row, but you gotta be able to visualize with your brain. So you're gonna go icon, and then you're gonna go title, and then over here, this is the second row. Remember, this is what's weird about putting them all in one line is you're configuring rows, but visually this is like, looks like columns, okay? Icon title, icon again, details, okay? This is just a mental exercise. Can he do the grid without making separate lines? Can he do it? We still need columns. So 2 is fine. Actually, auto min-max 0, 1FR would probably be more appropriate here. Rows. How about rows? I'm gonna go 2. And then this is gonna be repeat to min-max 0, 1FR. I'm just gonna throw in a little custom situation here. Okay. And then all we do here is we come to our icon and we say, hey, you live in grid area of icon. That's where you live. And then we come to the title and say, you live in the grid area of title. And then we come in here and we say, you know what, details? You live in the grid area of details. And we got our layout. And we didn't need to group these two items together to get there. I don't know. I think it's a little fantastic. Content gap divided by 2. No, just regular content gap. This is gonna be where you still want a group associated content, I bet. Yeah, maybe. I'll see how far we can get without doing it. This is just a mental exercise right here. This is just an exploration. Get rid of the line height. Get rid of the line height. Let's get rid of the gap. Let's just get rid of the gap. I think we're forced to do some things here a little differently if we're going to use a layout like this. So if I get the icon, I would now say margin inline end of 1em, okay? Margin inline end of 1em. Is that not doing what I needed to do? Oh, this may not work. Margin inline start of 1em. It would have to be done on each one independently. This is why you group associated content, friends. All right, my mental exercise has determined that's a shitty way to do this. Okay, so let's go, and all that stuff can pretty much be left behind. Just need these grid areas out of here. I'll show you how to do it for real. Right click, wrap in div. So contact card, details card. This is gonna be we'll just call this the meta, okay? Put the title in the details. This is contact details card meta. Okay. And then now that they're grouped together, you can display them. They can have their own gap. All is well in the world. Content gap divided by 2. And then we can have our icon. Now this gap behaves separately, which can also be content gap divided by 2. Content gap half. Okay, now we're doing a little bit better here. How big? This is how I always would have done it. I wanted to see if grid areas was going to get it done. That icon, I want to put data icon on this because the card framework will then take it over. I'm sorry, the icon framework of ACSS. And we do not use boxed icons on this website. So I'm going to go to icons and I'm going to say that the style is plain. But now all of my icons can essentially have the same sizing, and they can have, well, they can actually opens them up to having predetermined icon sizes where it's XS, S, M, L, XL, etc. And these are all configured in here. If I do icon size, okay, watch this, 60 pixels, look at this. I have control with this variable right here. And so all of my details card icons will now be this size. All right. What is the icon that's supposed to even go there? It's a little navigation looking icon, and then we're gonna have a phone icon. But we're gonna make this a component. We are gonna make it a component. We're gonna go with media, okay? This is gonna be the icon. We're gonna go with 2 texts. This is gonna be a, what do we call it? Title, and then we called it details. Title is title. Details is example details, okay? Let's pop that in there, bang. Let's pop this in here. And I'm trying to remember how we do the icon. How do we do the icon? Add dynamic element. Add HTML element. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. Icon. Because I don't think it's gonna do it by itself. Let's find the phone. Find the phone, here we go. If the phone is the default, maybe we just did it this way. Item.icon, source, item.icon. All right, we're gonna have to figure that out in a minute. We won't waste time on it though. Let's just double check it. Like, what if I put this X in here? Yeah, okay, so that doesn't work yet. But we have this working. So this is going to be the address. This is going to be the phone, or no, I'm sorry. This is gonna be the actual address. It's gonna be 123 your place, okay? That seems good there. Let's go a second contact details card. This one would be the phone. Okay, I'm just gonna leave the address there because this is all gonna be dynamic, hopefully in a minute. Contact details section, and then we have the inner. Let's create BEM classes here. Let's add a media query greater than 1,000. We'll look at this again in a minute, and we'll say that we want this to be display grid 2 columns, okay? We also need in this default section, so we're gonna go padding. And we're just gonna change this to section space M. Change this to gutter. Now it's gonna behave exactly like a section. We can do the BG ultra dark on it. Okay. Oh, it helps if you do the class right. Okay. Look at the icons change. Do you see that? The icons even change? Okay. Why are they so big would be my first question. Why are they so big? All right, let's come in here. So we have this div. Let's look at our structure here. Oh, we're still doing the whole grid template areas nonsense. All right. Don't want to do that. We do want to do a grid. Okay, let's add the grid, but it's going to be more of like, let's do an auto and then a min-max 0, 1 FR. This is a way to do handle icons. Like I did a list with flex above. You can also do it with grid using auto is typically a good way to do it. As long as your icon size is properly managed. Like if they're all going to be a consistent size, you're good to do it this way. Really, it's kind of that would be the same with flex though. But you don't have to worry about shrinkage when you do it this way. All right, this also needs to be, this section in general needs to be, I think, S instead of M. There you go. Okay. Aren't these like legit cards? Yeah. Oh, okay. They're not even supposed to be, this isn't even supposed to be dark. All right, let's take that off of there. Contact details card, edit and component, contact details card. Let's add the spacing. Did I do card padding? I did. There it is. Card padding. Let's do white as the background. Background color, white. I need to change that default to use var white. And we're gonna have all of our colors in there actually, and they actually have little swatches. I showed this on the, the other day on the Figma file. How about a gap in here? How about a content gap? Okay. And then I'm wondering, yeah, we got to shrink that down. Okay, so let's inline size this. And let's say that this is going to be 50 characters, 60 characters, 70 characters, or we can go back to using width 60, 70, somewhere in there. And then we just want this to be BG ultra light for right now. It's gonna have a background image, as you see, like what we call this as a texture. It's gonna have a texture, but we're not doing that kind of detail yet. I'm thinking this needs to be like card, is this really card padding? Why is that looking, did I use card padding? Card padding's looking pretty beefy. Let's go to cards. Let's go to spacing. Oh, it is. Why are we doing L's? Let's do M's. Okay. See, that just updated all of my cards. Like all of my cards were going to be too beefy, and now they're all fixed. Anything that uses the card framework is fixed. Look at that. Let's do an options page. Except for this icon size is still bothering me a little bit. Let's go to icon. I'm going to go 24. 2016. No, that's not, definitely not. 24. Okay. It might do better with, maybe we need to think about doing boxed icons. We might want to think about doing boxed icons. All right, let's go options page. I mean, where do we even start with an options page? Where do we even start? How are we doing on time, by the way? 11, 12, 1. I got 40 minutes on the official timer left. I can do, let's do this options page, and then I'm going to try the service page template. Now, the good news is, let's look at what we've done. Let's just look at what we've done, okay? We've got our about page, scaffolded out. We've got our estimate page, which clearly I did the contact page instead of the estimate page. That's neither here nor there. These two services pages are controlled by the same basic structure. So when I do one of them, I've already done the other one, other than just inserting the content. So really, scaffolding wise, you know, we're going to be, after I do the service page, like layout, whatever, we're going to be mostly done in terms of scaffolding. So that's good. And then it would just be another, I wanted to show you the structure because anybody can go in with CSS and like, okay, fine tune the details, right? But I want to show you get all the architecture built out. Here's how to do the templating. Here's how to do this, this, this. Okay, like right now we're gonna do the options page. All right, so I'm gonna do options pages. Options pages cannot be edited without a license. You know what? F you. F you. I got a license, okay? You're gonna obfuscate. Okay, all right. Let me just take this tab over to my other screen so you guys can't see it. And then I'm gonna put in my license real quick. So let's look over here, ACF. There it is. You guys can't see. You're not stealing this one, okay? You don't get this one. Let's bring it back. License activated. Can we put it back in here? All right, ACF, you happy now? Can I access my global data? Do I even have anything? I already have it. It's already here. Phone number, address, ratings. Oh my gosh. It's already, here it is. Right here. I didn't even realize it. Okay. Anybody in the chat, can I phone a friend? Has anybody done an options page yet? Do I have to loop? Is it just global data? What is it? Should it not be props.icon instead of item.icon? You're absolutely right. That could just be why it didn't work. It's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Let's go back in here and go to icon and props.icon. You saved the day. You saved the day. 1,000 points. Why is your name at? Your name was never at before. I've seen your profile. You're not at. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, good. Tommy's got an LFG. I love it. I love it. An LFG in the chat. Keeps you motivated. Keeps you motivated. Okay. No friends showed up to tell me about options pages. So we're going to go docs.etchwp. And we're going to go options pages. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, I don't even, okay. Oh, Lord. Is this just going to be, don't tell me is it really that easy? Is it really going to be that easy? Like options.acf.address? I don't know. Okay. Contact details card. This is going to be the phone number. Just guessing. He's just guessing and getting it done. Okay. I can't be stopped. At this point, I cannot be stopped. Save. Exit. I mean. Does it really get any easier than this? Wait till we have AI in this bitch. Wait until the Mark Zemanskys of the world can just talk to it and it does half this stuff. I mean, I gotta not exit my component so quickly because I keep seeing things that are annoying me. Actually, I think this line height could just be cleared out. We don't even need that. What else does that? Yeah, I mean that's good. Like it's good. Is there an on this options page? Did I do icons? I didn't do the icons, but you know what? It doesn't matter because you don't need to pull that dynamically because it's not like we're using this in a loop. I'm free to just choose the icon. So let's choose this one. And oh wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, that would be like the default. I'm sorry, I'm like in the component. We don't want to be in the component. Let's just choose that, and let's go to phone, and let's choose a phone. Did I break it? I think I broke it. I did break it. Yeah, you can't choose a source there. That's got to be props. That icon. Okay. Look at us go. Look at us go. I mean, I almost want to take a breather after that one. That's just like a celebratory breather. Okay. Will the AI be trained on your coding principles? Yes, that's the point. You could be like, hey, Claude, Grok, Gemini, whatever you want to do. Okay. Use BEM. Use semantic HTML. Make sure all accessibility requirements are fulfilled. Use automatic CSS variables if we want to do that. You know, automatic CSS is not required, but you could do that. But yeah, that's the point. You train it and it does things the way you want it done. So you're not having to constantly undo nonsense, you know? Okay. This is kind of pissing me off, this section right here. With this, I want to revisit that. Well, I don't know. Should we? You got to stay disciplined, okay? When you're scaffolding, you got to stay disciplined. You're going to see stuff that you don't like, all right? But you got to stay disciplined and not get bogged down. I need to go here and change this to an H1. Just noticed that. Okay. Contact us. I'm going to, for right now, go to the loop manager, and I'm going to change this from estimate to contact, just so we have a full working navigation and we're not missing anything. Okay, so here I am on the contact page. So I can go about, I can go contact, I can go home. I mean, look at everything that we've scaffolded out. Scaffolded out. So now it's a matter of getting this first service page done. Now, I'm not too sure, because what you would do in an old page builder is you would go build a template, you would use custom fields for everything, but I don't think that's the way to go when you have block authoring. I'm just not sure I'm not convinced that's the way to go. I think what should just be done is you just, see this? I don't know that this is the life we want to live. I'm not convinced. So we're gonna minimize that here. I'm gonna go to post types. I'm gonna go to services. I'm gonna say, give me the block editor back here. Give me the editor back. And I'm gonna now go into services, and I should see the editor. There it is. And if I just have Etch content on this page and I just use the same and I save them to the pattern library even, right? I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about, okay? So I'm gonna call this service hero. Or I'll call this basic hero, because it's a very basic hero. It's not like a crazy hero. Let's go to the services pages. Landscaping. Okay. Oh, no, this is okay. This is we're gonna call this a brag hero. That's what we're gonna call it, because you're bragging right here, right, with your 3 little talking points. That's, you know, it doesn't matter what you call them as long as it makes sense. All right, let's get rid. We don't need that options page anymore. We're already in an editor. Okay, we can close that editor down. Because a lot of people ask me, like, well, what should I name it? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not that much, you know? And what you name the elements kind of matters, all right? But this main block, you can, you know, you don't want to use something that confines you later necessarily. Like if I called it services hero, and then I was like, ooh, but I really want that pattern on a page that's not services. Now I'm using services hero on a page that's not services. That feels a little weird, you know? But a brag hero, I can brag anywhere, dog. Like anywhere I go, I could brag. So it's fine. It's fine. How is this constructed? So we're just looking, and you just think in blocks. Here's an inner, and then here's we'll call this the brag list. The brag list. And these are really cards that only belong to this section, because you can see how they have their divider in them and all that. So we're not going to make them separate blocks. I don't even know that it's important to make those a component, honestly. We'll try to do it the minimal route. We'll not do it with components. So this is going to be called the inner. I'll just duplicate that. This is going to be called the brag list. Okay. I'll call it a brag card. That's what we'll do. We'll just keep using the same name. Brag card. It's going to have a heading. It's going to have text. All right. Those are going to be H2s most likely. This can be an article. We can right click, convert this to a list. We can call this brag list. Brag card, heading, text. We can just create BEM classes straight away. Even if you fuck up, like watch this. I want this to be called the description. and I could just rename this class. And watch it. See, it's already been used in the HTML, but for those of you who used to code, watch this, okay? You could just rename it to description, and you don't have to fix the HTML. The HTML is fixed for you. Now I can come in and just go lorem 15. Okay, give us a little brag text there. Okay, brag 1. All right, and then we're gonna take this and we're gonna go doop doop, and then our brag list, we're gonna say right click, add media query, greater or equal to, and we'll stick with 1,000, and then we'll say grid, and we'll do the same thing that we've been doing, like grid 3. Okay, that's coming together. And then this is the brag hero inner. All right, brag hero. Actually, you know what? I did block that. Instead of making it belong to, okay, brag list item. Let me back up here. I'm gonna show you if this happens to you. Brag list item, brag card heading. If we're gonna really bem this as all one thing, brag card description. Okay, get rid of these that are nonsense. Brag card heading, brag card description inside the brag card, which is a brag card list item inside of a brag list. Now this can all be bemmed together. Let me get our 2 columns in here. Oops, not the section element. 2 divs. We're gonna go content wrapper. It helps to be able to think in terms of structure. This is definitely something you have to practice. Media wrapper. Especially to know what the structure has to be without constantly looking back and forth. Heading text. Let's go back now and check. So heading text and a CTA. Guys, check this. Just check. Can we still use the section intro? Can we just still use it? Section intro. Can we just get away with still using it? We want show secondary CTA, no. Show the lead, show the headline. Now we can come in here. I feel like I got all my stuff. Create BEM classes. Now you can go to your style manager. Remember those classes that we created that were not part of Brag Hero, which starts right here, this brag list, gone, don't need you, gone, don't need you, gone, don't need you, gone. Everything else we need. Okay, then you pop back out. Now you don't have any bogus, erroneous classes in your life. You're gonna right click, add media query, greater or equal to 1,000. Okay, and we are going to display grid, 2 column grid. There we go. We're gonna come in here, display flex column, drop this down, bring in an image like this. I mean, at this point, sometimes you just feel like you're flying through it. Okay, Brag Hero Media, drop a radius on there. Okay. Yeah. Add media query, great. Imagine when we have tokenized media queries. Imagine when we have tokenized media queries. This is gonna be fantastic. It's just gonna be fantastic. Let's go 50 characters. Get rid of that. View this on the front end. Okay, we're starting to get there. We're gonna come down here to our brag list. Here's our brag list item, but our brag list. Add media query. I need to make these mobile first by default. Sure, some of you have already noted that probably needs to happen, right? This is gonna be grid 3. And then I can go list item, bang, bang. And we're gonna take this and we are going to give a border to the block start of 5 pixels, solid, border color dark. 5, is that what we want? Or do we want 3? Maybe we want 3. Do we want 3? Do we want 2? I don't really know, okay? Padding, block start, card padding. I think they're actually like, it's not border color dark. I think they're actually black. They are thinner for sure though. That's too much. 2 pixels. Sweet. Okay. let's just pop this in. Section heading, headline. Good. And pop this in. Oh, it doesn't, hold on. Residential landscaping in Metro Atlanta. That's actually the heading. That's actually the heading. Residential landscaping, because this is, remember, this is the H1 up here, okay? So this headline needs to be, we need a really compelling headline here, okay? Let's do that. What's the lead? Bang, like that. Let's come down and say lead. Okay. Now, that is the section intro lead. Now, in this particular section, we want that lead to be text L, okay? And so Brag Hero, you can actually, because nesting, like, I'm gonna reach into this component. I'm gonna try to reach into this component. Section intro lead. I don't even actually know that that's the class name, I'm just guessing. Let's just see. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. So font size, text L. Because if you look at here, it's using like a larger text, right? And see, clearly we're doing that down there. From only when this intro lives in this section is that gonna happen, right? Only in this context does that become text L. If I use it everywhere else, it's not gonna do that. It's not gonna do that. It's only gonna do that in a Brag Hero. That's the only time it's gonna do that. That is I mean, if you architect your CSS, right, you can do a lot of fun, fancy, easy stuff, okay? And that's gonna take place everywhere we need it to take place. So now, the point I was getting at with the block authoring, right? Yes, it is greater or equal to. Maybe you were responding to somebody else. Kevin, this is Hero Victor. I know, but it's not built yet as Hero Victor. It will be at some point, but for this project, I'm showing people how to, like, if you're gonna do custom stuff for your project, this is how you can name your stuff. Okay, and look, it's all mobile responsive, just based on the techniques that we're doing. Like and for those of you who don't understand automatic CSS, like, look at the gutter is fluid responsive. Okay, look at the spacing is fluid responsive. The typography is fluid responsive. You're never gonna see me edit text sizes at breakpoints or spacing at breakpoints or anything like that. You're never gonna see that happen. It never needs to happen. It's just all handled for you, okay? Everything scales fluidly out of the box, out of the gate by default. A lot of people don't even realize that. They don't even realize what they're not watching, you know? I can spend my time doing a lot of custom stuff because all the other shit is just taken care of for me and I don't have to worry about it. All right, let's go back to Gutenland. So this is what the client would see, right? So they're editing the service page and they're like, I really want to change my heading. So we have all these exposed props, right? So Bev can create her own heading for this page. I don't need custom fields. I just let them do it here. And if I take this and I go create pattern and I say Brag Hero, right? And I come down here and I see, we got to get rid of all these stupid defaults that Gutenberg puts in. Can you make a new one from here? What are we doing? Like, how are people supposed to use this? Gutenberg is just don't get me started. Let's not go there. How do I make a new category? Like, I want to create it here. I don't see the category I want. Why are you gonna create a new category? Why is that not an option? What are we doing? Don't make me go to somewhere else. Don't make me do that. Don't make me do that. Is there content? There's not even any sensible fucking categories. Text, videos, what are we doing? Why would I have a video pattern? What are we doing? You know, that's, you know, it's disrespectful. It's just the things they do to users is disrespect. I would never disrespect my users in this fashion. Never would I ever. Where do I have to go? Customize? No, see, now what land are we in now? Editor? Okay. Patterns. Where do we create the categories? Where my patterns? Uncategorized. All patterns. Where are the categories? FFS. FFS. What? Where are they? Does anybody know? Phone a friend. Phone a friend. Just type in the box. Just press return. Okay. All right. Hey. All right. I'll do it. I'll try to do it. I'll try to do it. Services. Where were we? Landscaping. Right click. Create pattern. Stop it. Stop it. One password. Chill out. Brag hero. There's just no indication here that I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. All right. So now I'm going to do something dangerous. Living on the edge, guys. Did that delete it from the page or delete it from this pattern library? Hopefully just from the page. Everything we built up in smoke. Up in smoke. I'm relying on Gutenberg. Let's go in and do this. It doesn't have a preview. Look at it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Still exists. Go into Etch. There it is. Two-way sync. One-to-one rendering. It's just nice to look at. It's honestly just nice to look at. But you can come in here and you could select, can they swap the image if they want to? This is the thing that also people need to realize is they might watch, all the things that I'm doing, right? What you're looking at here does not exist anywhere else. This is something that was done while I was working for me, on my behalf, we could say. And on the client's behalf, that I put zero effort into. And I mean, there we are, right? I can come in here and change the image. Client can change it. Well, watch this. This is what Bev would do. Bev would choose always, she's going to choose a tall image, okay? And it's going to do that. And so then I'm going to get hold on. She's calling right now. Hold on. Bev, I saw it happen. I got it, Bev. Don't worry about it. All right. I'm in there. I'm going to fix it for you, Bev. I watched it happen in real time, Bev. I watched it happen. Okay. I get it. All right. Hold on, Bev. Watch this. It's just stay on the phone, Bev. Just hang out right here. I got you, fam. Okay. I'm just going to go in here and put a little control, a little aspect ratio control to prevent any bad things from happening. Okay. All right. Sorry for the troubles, Ben. Okay. Yep. Talk soon. All right. Bye-bye. All right. It happens every time. Okay. We're going to go back. And Bim's little pattern problem is solved. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. So here's where I think we should build out the rest of the page and just use these patterns for the client to come in and do their editing. I don't know. I don't think I need to map 1,000 custom fields into this fucking page. Really? Is that the life we want to live? No, I don't think so. Let's just give them the blocks. Let them author the blocks if they really want to touch it. Okay? Let them author the blocks. See, people are starting to get it. They're starting to see the picture. Guys, this is alpha. This is beta. I'm sorry, beta. This is beta. 1.0 beta. Give me 6 months. Give me 12 months. This game's over, okay? The game is over. Just close the coffin on all of the other options. They're already in the coffin. We are at an open casket right now. That's what you got to understand. We are at a wake. Open casket. People are sad. There's a lot of crying going on, okay? The casket door is about to close on these people. I hope they realize. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do with their life, but, not my circus, not my animals, Don't have to worry about it. What else are we building? I'm getting a little, got 15 minutes left. Is that correct? 2 o'clock, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah. I mean, we've done a lot. Okay. I'm going to quickly scaffold, gallery section, which is not actually going to be a section. Gallery section. This is going to be main content section. What are we going to call this? Content section. We'll just give this some random name. Content how about scrolling content section? Scrolling content section. Ooh, then we have that CTA that we built for the footer that we can use again. We can reuse that. We got a testimonial section we can reuse. We already built that. Let's build frequently asked questions because I know you guys want to see that. Okay. Hold on, I'm getting messages. Let's see. Okay, good. It's nothing major. Nothing major. All right. Let's go to Content Hub. Let's go to service. Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm in the wrong site. Helps to be in the right site. Here we go. Okay, let's build FAQ section. Again, this is going to be a section that's reusable in other places. Okay. What do we need, guys? I'm guessing we need a section intro. Section intro. Let's pop that in. Boom. I'm guessing we need to center it. I'm guessing we need to drop the CTAs. And we need to say frequently asked questions. And then we're going to say, here's what our customers typically ask us about this.title. Here's what our customers typically ask us about landscaping. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Okay. I don't need a lead. All right, let's go in here. I need an accordion. Holy smokes, I need an accordion. I don't want to build accordions. I don't want to do that. That's not fun. That is not how I want to live my life. Where are we? Pattern site. Let's go to layouts. Let's go to interactive. Let's go to accordion, copy code. Let's drop it in. Div container. So this will be accordion wrapper. And let's see if we can drop in our accordion. All right. That needs to be edited to where we take, this is already done with a loop. All of this is good. There's our panel. Here's our content. That's all going to be dynamic. Button text, panel, content, item.content. I think what we need is the HTML element. Okay, Etch HTML, item.content there, save. So I had a little tweak because this was created before we, let's go to the front end real quick, before we had the HTML element. Okay, now this is looping through blog posts. That's obviously not what we want. So we're gonna take recent posts and we're gonna see, we don't have an FAQs loop yet, okay? So we're gonna go to the loop manager. We're gonna hit bang. We're gonna come in here and we're gonna say FAQs. And I'm guessing that this is FAQs. Hey, there they are. Oh, we know this game. Quantity -1, okay? We're gonna go back out. We're gonna come down. We can now choose reviews. Oh no, I'm sorry, not reviews. What are we doing? FAQs. Guys, is it just working already? How much does pressure washing cost? How much does landscaping cost? There's our FAQs. What about our content? How are these constructed? Let's go back and see. Was the content put in the block editor or was the content put in a custom field? So let's go to FAQs. Did they just never fill out the FAQs? They just didn't put they just didn't put answers in there. Okay, this is why you don't. Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey. All right. Hey. It is what it is. Okay. Accordion wrapper. Actually, this is FAQ. Questions list. What is the DOM output on this, by the way? Let's look. I don't even know off the top of my head. What are we doing here? section, container, accordion, item. Can we control the DOM output here? I think accordion, ID, open first item, allow multiple items open, transition, duration. Oh, I think we have roles. Did we put roles on them? Let's see if we put roles on them. Here's like the question, accordion item, item header, button. No. Okay. So we may need to look into role equals region. Okay, that's that. Roll. Okay. So we may need to put it in. Okay, this was probably built before we had the dynamic HTML element. Now that we have the dynamic HTML element, we can probably reconstruct this if Nuno's watching to use the dynamic HTML element, and we can let people choose whether this is a list output or whatever they want it to be. Okay, so let's go questions list, fac section questions list, and we're just gonna go content width of width L, M. Oh, you know what? Wait, is this correct? Questions list, max inline size, width L. Am I doing this on the wrong thing? Am I being an idiot? Questions list. Where's my front end? Let's get rid of these. Let's go to the front end. Inspect. Why is this misbehaving? Div. This is the questions list. Content width. I should be able to just override the content width. Yeah. So why not? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Oh, I'm trying to do the fucking L again, dude. I did that. I did LM whatever for width for fucking 4 years. And that's why I'm like, gotta retrain myself. Okay, 70. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so that's how, oh, sorry. Let's think about this. Okay, we'll do that later. Section intro, edit component, section intro, content wrapper. I feel like we already adjusted that at one point, but I feel like, I know why. Okay, that's better. It's auto wrapping the text because it's set to text wrap balance. So this heading is getting balanced automatically by the browser. And sometimes it overbalances if there's not enough room or certain amounts of space. But yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so we did a fact section. We can add a section. This would be for the gallery. We're going to call this a gallery divider because essentially it acts as a divider between the hero and more content. It's just a divider of images, essentially. So I'm going to call it a gallery divider. And this will be the inner. And obviously in the inner, we're going to need a flex div for the media wrapper. And then the media. This is going to be a figure. Now you'll start to see like there's a lot of it's the same process over and over again. Okay, create the structure, name the structure, do the semantics, do the BEM classes. Now add the styling. Okay, now move on to the next one. And this is really what I'm going to teach in Page Building 101 is this like kind of workflow, very systematic. Okay, figure, media. This should not be media. It should be image because we're not going to put any videos in here. We're not going to have a video gallery. I use the word media when it could be an image or could be a video, but in this case, it's just going to be images. Okay, so I can right click and I can create BEM classes here. Now this is not a section because it's not going to have a heading. So you can't semantically make it a section. So we're going to make it a div. We're going to decide, does it even need any padding? It does not. It doesn't even need any block padding, and content should touch the edges. So you don't even need a gutter. So we're good to go just out of the gate. This inner though, we're gonna say, you could actually do this, well, you can do this either way, but content width is 100%. 100%. We don't need all the special characters. Okay, and then the gallery divider, we are gonna do I think a variable grid will work perfect here, okay? So in this inner, I'm gonna display grid. I don't have, here's where I'm gonna use a recipe for variable grid, and done. Okay, and now what we're gonna do, and I can actually auto, yeah, we want fit, okay? Because if I just start doing this, it's just gonna fill itself out. And I mean, and if you're not perfect with the amount, actually, you know what? Instead of variable grid, because this isn't gonna allow the items to stretch. Let's think about this for a second. How do we want, what if Bev doesn't put enough images in? Actually, if I do this with a loop, which should be done with a loop, I can specify that there's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many are there supposed to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's supposed to be 6 across. Okay. So what's their aspect ratio? They're squares too. Okay. I'm getting out of control with the tabs here. So I'm gonna go into image right here, and I am going to go to square. And that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6. I can change this to 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still don't get there. 240, 250. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I need 2 more. Okay, this is essentially what we're trying to achieve. Oh, that's right. That's going to be dependent on, we can't do that. We can't do variable grid. That's going to be dependent on the screen size because of the way this is constructed. So we're going to go grid 6, and then we're going to put a gap in there. Let's do content gap half. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's force 6, force 12 items. If we use a loop, because I do think that if I go in here, let's look at this for a second. Services. Did I create a gallery in here? Wouldn't it be in meta? Oh, please don't tell me these were individually done. Main content gallery. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Main content gallery. Bear with me. Is that an array? Holy smokes. Okay. I mean, we're in uncharted waters here. We're just going to make a guess. Wrap in loop. Don't need brackets. No brackets. What is the loop manager? Let's go to services. What are we looking at here? Gallery. What are we even looking at here? Is that serialized data? That's serialized data, isn't it? I think we're gonna need special handling on this. All right, I gotta ping, okay. This is how you would access it. You can loop through this template, so get this post, get the main content gallery, and then there would be probably like an ID or a URL or a whatever in there somewhere, okay? Well, it would be item, yeah, it would be the ID, whatever, however you get the item. And then we would be able to access the URL for it. But it's saying that it's, the loop data is undefined because I think that's serialized data. I thought we unserialized all of the fields. It feels like, what field did we use? Let's go look at what field did we use. ACF, post types, field groups, serve a single main. Oh, it's a fuck. Oh, that's why it's nested. Main content gallery. I bet the gallery fields are unserialized when they're not nested. But when they're in a subfield, they still get serialized. That's what we're doing right now, David. It's not a template. That's the thing, is we don't actually need a template for it. Because of block authoring. At least that's the route that I'm going, is like, we actually don't need a template for this. We're not trying to live the custom field life, actually. This would just be a custom field that I would actually, screw this. Hey, I mean, we've got full control over what we're doing here. Why don't I just take it out? Oh, you know what? It's a repeater. No, hold on. This is the talking points. Okay, that's fine there. That actually needs to be extracted. Some of this stuff needs to be, we just kind of need to well, no, we don't need the talking points. We don't need that. Oh, there's so much stuff we don't even need. But look at this. Can I just take the gallery out? What if I just steal it and just put it up here? Is it gonna lose its content? ACF, don't tell me it's gonna lose its content. Is it gonna lose its content when I do this? I bet it is. I bet it is. ACF loves to do that to you. You move something around, everything implodes. I bet we're gonna lose our content on that. Oh, well, here's the thing. Oh, what are we even doing? If we have block authoring, okay, bear with me here. Do we just put, you got to think about it on a whole new paradigm, right? I'm still thinking in custom fields. You guys see this? I'm still thinking in custom fields. If we have block authoring, it just lives like this. And you just got to fill in all the images. You don't even need to loop it. Just save. Am I just done? I could just be done. They just go into the image. They set the image here. This controls the image. Save. Go to the front end. There you go. We don't need custom fields. We don't need loops. We don't need custom fields. It's just, hey, dude, you're responsible for, now we could loop it. We could create a component out of it. We could loop it through. All right, bear with me. I'm in experimentation mode right now. I'm just in. I'm gonna get happy files back. Now in Etch, you're gonna be able to group and tag photos and then loop through groups and tags and all that stuff. That's coming. We don't have it yet, so I'm gonna bring happy files back for a second, because happy files creates these loopable categories. And there's gallery and there's landscape. I've never tried this before. I'm just, this would be an experimentation. I mean, first thing I got to experiment with is, can I even loop through happy files folders? I don't even know yet. I don't even know. We're just bear with me. We're just having fun. We've gone off the reservation now, and we're just in like exploratory mode. Let me loop this. Okay. How's this gonna work? How does happy files store data? That would be the next question. Is it a post? Is it a cat? Is it a taxonomy? Claude, help me out, Claude. My word, Claude. How does the happy files plugin for WordPress store collections groups? Is it post type or taxonomy or what? Help me, Claude. I always feel like when I'm talking about Claude, I'm like, I'm some like old lady, you know? Claude's my like, who would be your elderly husband? Claude! And you gotta have like a northern accent. For sure, Claude lives up north. He's in New Jersey, you know, that area. My God, I can't even do the accent, but you know, you get the point. Do it in your head. Do it in your head. It'll be funnier. Taxonomy called Happy Files category. They get to watch this. Watch this. Let's see y'all. You know, is Claude gonna take my job? Let's see. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do. Is there a sample? Okay, we're gonna need a taxonomy loop. This is gonna be Happy Files. Happy Files. Well, no, we're gonna say images. We're gonna loop through images. This is gonna be a taxonomy loop. And I'm gonna give this to Claude. And I'm gonna be like, hey, Claude, okay? Use this syntax to show me how to loop through the Happy Files folder called, let me get a basic one, because I don't know that we should start with this nested situation that we got going on. How about placeholders? It's called placeholders, Claude. Let's see, let's just see. Okay, what do you want to notify me of, Jason? What do you need to notify me of? But guys, I know you can help me, right? But what would a user do, you know? It's not hard, just getting attachments. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of water and review my phone a friend. But now I got to scroll up. I add one for skip to content, skip to footer, blah, 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 blah. Yes. This is, it's up to you to set the background. Okay, I think that's unrelated. Oh, okay. In the freebies, you added a gallery with it set up using Happy Files as the source. Services pages are not rendering on the front end. Pull it up in incognito. Services pages are not rendering on the front end. I wonder if there's... Yeah, they are. Don't scare me, okay? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, but I'm working through this by myself, okay? I'm not phoning a friend. Let's see what Claude says. I mean, look at Claude. Oh, wait, hold on. Claude, we can't use custom PHP functions, okay? Why are you giving me this? Oh, you're trying to give it... Oh, okay, I only want this part, dude. Why is it always trying to give me extra shit? I didn't ask for the loop or whatever else it was trying to do. I just asked for the arguments. That's it. I can't paste that part. Okay, it's got to go from there down. You see what I do with the tabs all the time? Dude, that always happens to me. There they are! There they are! Okay. Happy Files category slug is terms placeholders. Okay. What if there's a folder called landscaping nested in another folder called services? I don't need the loop part, just the args. You did not link the services pages in the menu. I know. Yeah, I know. They weren't created yet. Well, I guess they technically were, but they were blank. Okay, so there's no like... Is it that easy? Isn't this the same thing? Is this different? Okay, so you're telling me it's the same. It's the same. Okay, so what we're gonna do is the the terms, well, first of all, let's do, let's make sure, landscaping. I don't know. That doesn't look like the right preview. Is it case sensitive? Does anybody know? Never done this before. Landscaping. I'm pretty sure branding and Bricks Child and Etch theme and font. I'm pretty sure this is not in there. You have to change your query type. Are you sure? Because attachment is post type, right? That should be an attachment is a post, right? Maybe we'll get Jason. I found it better to use ID. Oh, like the ID of the folder? Where are the IDs exposed? Are the IDs exposed somewhere? Change query type to posts. I did. I thought I did. Oh, I'm down here. Hold on. Where was I looking? Wasn't I? Oh, okay. All right, Jason, where are the IDs exposed, though? Where do I find the ID? Yeah, this is still not field, slug terms. In the URL, it shows the ID. Happy files, bricks, fonts, gallery, heroes, icons, landscaping. Landscaping ID is 7. You know what I'm gonna do? Watch this. Problem is, I don't know what it was called, but I can probably. Let's go to freebies, search, gallery, posts, gallery. Is this it? Okay, let's copy. Is this up to date? Let's just throw this in a page and then see what it looks like. Because what it's going to do, hopefully, watch this magic. It's going to import the loop. I think. Did you pre-configure a loop for this? There it is right there. Isn't that amazing? When you copy a component in that relies on a loop, it brings the loop data with it. This does appear to be correct. Terms, it just happened to use 7. So if I go back, let's go to here. There was branding 4. So if I change this to 4, what am I going to preview here? Yep, the logo. Yep. So let's think through this. Arg. Cat ID. Fallback of 7. Cat ID fallback of 7. Okay, we're going to call this, I'm going to delete this. We're going to call this images. Okay, so now I should be able to declare the cat ID in the loop. Okay, Let's go. We don't need that component anymore. We have our own little situation going on here. I can choose images, and I can come down here. I know I'm blocking this, so I'm going to zoom in. Okay. Cat ID 7. Does it need to be in quotes, or does it not matter? The image is going to be, and I'm going to do for this loop, I'm going to do as image. And this image, I'm going to do image.url.relative, permalink.relative. All right, back to the loop. What are we actually looking for here? The GUID? No, permalink. Shouldn't permalink relative work here? Should that not work? Phone a friend? Phone a friend? Yeah, we're still going. I would think that would be correct. It doesn't have a problem with the word image, right? Like, I can go back to item. It's not going to work. What is it doing on the front? Is it doing anything on the front end? No. Anybody see the problem? I don't know what else we would do here. But what I was getting at is gallery divider. We can essentially make into a component. I wish we had a working loop here, because then, you know, let's take the permalink out of here just so we actually have images. Oh, is it really only showing me? That's weird. Okay. Let's just do that for now. But I can take this and make a component out of it called gallery divider. And I can do a loop, and I can say the source, and then I can come into the loop and I can say loop images. Oh, we are going to be able to pass arguments into inner loops, by the way. Probably in the next update, hopefully in the next update. This would be props.source. And then we'll just do images here. Post type, main query. Why is it not available? Let me refresh. Okay. Let's go in, gallery divider, edit component, source, images. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be like the default source. That's the default source, but the user can actually select their source. And so the way we would pass arguments, what we talked about is I would say something like cat ID, okay? And we would put 7 in here. And then in the inner loop, this is probably going to break it because it's not supported yet, but you would do props.source and you would do cat ID is props.catID. And this is how you would dynamically pass the ID in to an inner loop. Okay, this is not going to work right now because this is functionality that's about to roll out, but this is how it would be done. This is how it would be done. For those of you who have been asking. I think you need to refresh so the loop is available in the builder. Yeah, that could be. That could be what was happening. So what I'll do is we'll save this, but we're going to take out what I just did because it's obviously not, I just wanted to show you. It's not going to be functional. Loop source. Loop props.source, sorry. Props.source. Okay, let's go back here. And image is, let's think about how we're doing this. Source dot permalink.relative. Still not working. If it was working, it should bring those there. So let's go into gallery divider. We're going to have to debug afterwards. Can I do a background color on this and actually have it show up when there's no image? Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be neutral, ultra light, just to serve as a, I'm sorry, ultra dark. No, ultra light. Why is our neutral ultra light not behaving? Okay. Let's just get like, I just want light gray boxes to represent what would be going on there. And if we go back into media and we throw in just some random image, do we get a new one showing up? Here's my announcement. Oh, that thing's going to be gigantic. This is my announcement for the actual stream. I don't need the image there. Let's just go back in here. I don't even, like, what does it even show? Oh, because these are, oh, I hate that default. This never got changed on this install. Oh, fuck. I hate that. I hate that WordPress defaults to date folders. So ridiculous. Okay. This is what they would be able to select the source right here or put in the category ID right here. And actually change that dynamically. That'll be possible very soon. Let's go into media. Let's go into landscaping. Okay, see, it didn't even put that image in that folder. Like, unbelievable. Look, I can't even drag a thing in here because you got to go to add to do it. Like, the dinosaur nature. Look, and then when I go here, I got to select the category again. The dinosaur nature of WordPress continues to impress. This is going to be like a 3 meg file. I didn't optimize this at all. I just want to see if it gives us another. There you go. There you go. Okay. So this would be dynamic, and we could specify that it's going to loop 12 items. Okay. This will be dynamic very soon. Now, the whole point of showing that was now when they're editing the page, they'll be able to put in the content here, no custom fields, be able to click on this component, choose the source, choose the ID. Actually, we could force the source to just be images, honestly, and only have the cat ID as the option to control. And you could literally build in a drop down. I mean, let's show this, because this is actually how I would do it. If we want the client to really, if we want this to really be easy, we go in here. We don't even need a loop prop. We literally just hard code the loop. So loop, loop. Where's my loop? We loop the images. Boom. Okay, so we're hard coding that. And then we just put in the argument, okay? Where we go cat. It would actually be cat name at that point, or actually you could do it this way. You could do it this way. Cat ID is props.cat ID. And instead of this, we create a drop down called cat ID. And then we label them and we say, this be very friendly to Bev. Landscaping, 7. And then hardscaping, whatever the ID is for that. Let's just say it's 3. And then what would happen, okay, we've already mapped that in to right here. It's obviously not going to work. This is going to, hopefully this week or next week. We're going to go back to WordPress now. This is what Bev would be faced with. So she would choose the gallery divider and she would choose hardscaping or landscaping and you don't even need to know the cat ID. They're just pre-programmed in there for you. This would be even better. I mean, how can she complain about that? There's one thing I'm not going to get a phone call on. Fantastic. I think that would be great. So that, again, should be added, passing arguments into loops via components. It's slated for this week. So we got our fingers crossed. But But look, I mean, this is just what they would do to build out the service page. Just fill out the content. I mean, how easy is this? No custom fields, no mapping fields, no nothing. By the way, this gallery divider right here can be created as a pattern, okay? Can be added to the pattern. This FAQ section, let's add that as a pattern. They could literally get to the point where they're just assembling a new landing page just with predetermined patterns from the native in Gutenberg from the pattern library. Why does Bev have, she doesn't on my sites, but this is what people always tell me. My clients really want to edit their site. So I say, hey, if you want Bev touching your junk, then you know what I'm saying? That's up to you. That's up to you. Yeah, you don't, well, yeah, you're gonna, listen to this. Listen to this. You're gonna create custom post types in Etch. You're gonna create, you don't even really, for most things, you're gonna, like, whole pages like this, you don't even need the custom fields. You just create the post type in Etch, go create the patterns, put the patterns in here, and here's what you can do. Watch this. I'm not familiar, I'm not an expert in the block editor, but I saw at a conference one time, 2 years ago. I think this is correct. Let's ask Claude. Let's ask Claude. Hey, Claude, is there a way to predetermine a set of patterns that are loaded into a custom post type when the user creates a new post? So when they create the new post, they already see specific patterns in a specific order as a starting point. Yes. So you can register a block template for your custom post type. Block template approach is probably what you want. You define it right when you register the CPT. Core pattern lets you insert registered patterns by slug. Look at this. They would literally, guys, they would literally, look at this. This is, I gotta do this. We're not gonna do this together. I gotta do this off the screen because I might get excited. You know what I'm saying? This is, they would hit new. I don't know why that's never, why isn't it an option right here? Okay, let's go back. Let's just get this, just understand. They would hit add new service and all those patterns would already be there in the order we want them to be there for that custom post type. Ready for editing. Holy smokes. Bro, we are unlocking mad levels. I gotta figure out how to do that. I gotta go in the code box. I gotta do some tinkering around. Yeah, block templates. Can't you just create a template and add those patterns to it? No, because Gutenberg won't let you edit it. When you go to try to interact with it, it'll be like, you're trying to interact with a template. Would you like me to take you to the template? It's not, it doesn't let you access the blocks. But this method would let you do it. This kills ACF flexible content. Another casket closed. This is even better than ACF flexible. I've never really used flexible. I don't know if you can set whole defaults for patterns. ACF, gone. Gone. Flexible content, gone. Custom block development, gone. Custom fields, gone. In a lot of cases. You still need them for some things, but in a lot of cases, large scale use of custom fields, gone. We're having too much fun. This shouldn't be allowed. All right, let's take a look at what we did. What were we able to accomplish in our sprint together today? We got our whole homepage scaffolded, okay? Remember, we want to go back and do details and things like this. We got the about page scaffolded. But these are all loops. We got to link up let's link up our services real quick. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. Okay, edit with Etch. Go into our loops. Okay, we got landscaping. I'm just gonna guess that this is services landscaping. We've got hardscaping. Services hardscaping. Save that. Hop back. Landscaping. Hardscaping we haven't done yet. We got most of this scaffolded out. I mean, this should answer all of the questions that people ask, like, how do I do my header? Where do I put my footer? How does the index template work? How did it, all these like getting started questions. This should be enough in there. We didn't cross every T, dot every I with every single detail, but I think we did enough things to where you're like, all right, I get the idea. Somebody just needs to come back and cross the T's, dot the I's now. I mean, we got a form passed in there from from WS Form. Shout out Mark Westcar. We could throw the logo in the footer. I think even that footer has let's go to index template and let's see. Here's the footer CTA. Oh, I think somebody was mentioning this. Somebody mentioned this. Okay, I think it just requires a little reload, little refresh. We would add logic to make. Okay, I'll show you guys how to do this. Then we'll get out of here. I'll check questions as well. I have till 3 p.m. I put 2 p.m., but I have till 3 p.m. I want to show you conditional logic for hiding the footer CTA on a page by page or post by post basis. We'll do that with a custom field real quick. But what was I going to do? I was going to, look at this. I can do a minimalist footer. Like that one footer I added in, I can say, hey, it's going to be minimalist, or I can even just hide the nav and it's a pseudo minimalist, right? So even these have, look at the flexibility you get with just simple component logic, right? I can do a lot of things with this footer in different templates, depending. Like if it's a landing page template that I don't want a navigation on, I can just say hide the nav. And now it's still got its own little CTA thing. And then I'd be able to hide the CTA on those and just use this one. Or I could just say, hey, just go minimalist on this one. That's all I want to do. Just go minimalist on this one. Look at the flexibility. And I didn't even have to do any of that. I just pasted that in. But what you do is you come in and you say, hey, I want to edit the component. I want to grab that template or that logo right there. And I want to use my own. Why is it not? Does anybody know why it's not showing me all my media? Like what has happened now that I can't see my media? What has it done to me? What is WordPress doing? The logo's not in any of those folders. What is happening? Dude, why is it so bad? Why is WordPress so bad? Okay, well, we're not going to change the logo right now. Oh boy. Happy Files broke it, didn't it? That bastard plugin. You're right. Happy Files did it. You can even add the CTA as a block in a block template. Yeah. You could. Let's do the logic real quick. ACF, field groups, visibility. I think I already have the logic. Hide footer CTA. It's already there because I did it on the other site. So footer CTA. Okay. So let's do it. Here's how you do it. You go edit with Etch. You go into your templates, into your index template. You take that footer CTA, you wrap it in a condition. And I believe it would be this .acf dot, what did I just say? My short-term memory is absolute shit. Footer CTA. Footer CTA. This should be a just a generic check. Wait, am I thinking about this wrong? No, 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 no. Should be right. But the thing is, I'm not previewing anything. So I need to go to a post where we don't have, where we have it off. Where do I have it off? Contact us. Hide footer CTA. Yes. I just need to make now. I just need to make sure it's not hidden everywhere. Oh, it's definitely not there. Is it hidden everywhere now? Okay, it's hidden everywhere is the problem. The conditions typically don't need. Oh, maybe that's only Etch. Okay, that might only be Etch Booleans. Maybe with, I haven't done an ACF Boolean yet. Maybe with an ACF Boolean, you do need this.footer CTA not equal to 0. Because 0 would be false, yeah? I'm dyslexic. I can never, like, these binary 1, 0, blah, blah, blahs. No, show it if it's, because the switch says hide, right? Hide footer CTA. So if it's not 1, is that what we need? I'm dyslexic. And I don't even know if ACF outputs 1 and 0 or true false, like as a value. No, now it's showing everywhere. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at that later. I've done it before. I just don't know. The contact page, I think, is supposed to not have it. But you have to look at it. The problem with custom fields is you always have to go into Gutenberg to look at it. Hide footer CTA. I mean, does it work in any capacity? The logic is for show. I don't know. My brain is also now getting tired. Look, I can't even find the tabs anymore. I know one is. Oh, you said the backwards of. Okay. Oh, you're translating it for me. 1 is hide, 0 is show, but it's not equals, right? Not equals 0 is show. Not equals 0 is show. Okay, so I probably just have the number backwards. No, I give up. I give up. No, because it's just showing everywhere now. Okay, we'll put that one in the books. I will debug after. Etch props, Etch Booleans don't even require, they're just self-checks. It also could be the this problem. So when you do it with Booleans and like components, it's much easier. Actually, hold on, what am I even? No, yeah. Okay. You would need to do it from a switch for sure. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna put this one in the books because I'm tired. I'm gonna hashtag Q. I did 3 hours yesterday, and then 4 hours today. Only because we're about to go on break. I'm about to get a nice little Christmas break, you know? Gotta pack it in right before. Is there a repeater prop coming for components? Yes. Random question, what are your go-to Brave Chrome extensions? Not much. Pika, 1Password, this accessibility color contrast checker that I really like, and this headings map to show you your headings. You can quickly check heading hierarchy on a page, which we have to add the logic for H1s versus H2 on these section intros as a thing to tidy up. And that's it. That's all I rock and roll with. Please show how you're going to do the skip links. It's fairly simple. You do them in your index template. Your skip link needs to come before anything in your header. So you could edit the component. Before the logo, you can put a link. This link needs to go to, you call this skip link. It needs to go to main. On your main, which I'll do in a second, you are going to, I'm going to put the class skip link on here. Now this is only easy because of automatic CSS, because automatic CSS has skip links built in. So now I exit the component. I have a skip link, you just can't see it. And then my main needs to have the ID of main. And that should, for the most part, get it done. There's the skip link right there. So if I'm on the home page, which looks like we didn't link up the logo. So here I am in the header, edit component. We'll go to the logo. We'll wrap this in a div. That div becomes the logo link. Just swap this to an A, pop an href on there. Home, bang. Now our logo's linked up. Skip link, that should all be fine. Okay, so exit. Let's just actually go back to the front end from here. So that goes to home now. And then if I am hitting that skip link, it's going to take me past the navigation right to the main content area. Simple as that. Now, if you don't have automatic CSS, it's going to be a little bit more complicated, right? The amount of things that it's like, oh, ACSS will just do that for me. Okay, thank you. All the recipes I used in here, all the variables, none of that had to be set up. None of that had to be thought about, configured, nothing. Okay? The skip link, you want it to obviously say skip to content. So instead of click me, we'll just come down here. Look, I can't see the button. I can't even see it because it's positioned off the screen, right? Thankfully, I have access to the HTML. I also have access to the attribute of the content right here in the sidebar. So I can say skip to main. Save. Now when I go back, see the skip link again, it says skip to main. And it's styled like my other buttons, just as a benefit, because that's how ACSS handles skip links. I mean, it just saves you a lot of time. Saves you a lot of time. Now keep in mind, if the hero pattern had already existed in the patterns library, which would have covered all of this, if this pattern had existed in the patterns library, if this pattern had existed in the patterns, if this pattern existed, I would have just literally copied and pasted these things. It would have authored the blocks for them. I would have hit save. I would have moved on to the next page. I would have pasted all the pre-done patterns, just automatic CSS taking care of all the colors, typography, all that stuff. I had to build a lot from scratch that I normally would not build from scratch just because the patterns aren't quite available yet. But once the patterns are available, you're literally just going to be like, choose from the pattern library that you like, pop them in. It's like, the amount of manual labor that you would do is going to be cut by 60 to 70%. That's the value of like a really good pattern library that is minimally styled that you can then just add your custom styling to. And now with the mini GUI doing your custom styling, like it's just, I don't think people quite understand like how much this is just going to, and then you have AI on top of that to literally be like, you'll be like, Claude, choose from the pattern library in Etch and make me a good services page. And it'll go, oh, this pattern, that pattern, this pattern, that, and you're like, oh, thanks, Claude. And then you just insert the content. Or even if you want, if your client wants to save a lot of money and they're going to do the content, which I never recommend, but if that's going to be the case, you just pop in the patterns and then hand it over to them and be like, all right, you go into Gutenberg and pop in your content, sir. Or ma'am, whoever it is. I mean, this day and age, the sir could be a ma'am. You never know. So it's just going to be so easy. It's just going to be so easy. All right. We got to get out of here. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in once again. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you were slightly, minimally entertained. And I do hope you guys have a good holiday break. And yeah, all that good stuff. Peace.